switch to TurboTax. File free in the app by 2/28. All 100% free.
All right. Just waiting on Soren. We'll get him on the call in a second, but I am FilthyRobot. We are broadcasting on Alcaras' channel today. Going to be watching Alcaras versus Ninjaa. This is one of the final matches of the tournament. I think there's, what, 2 more after this? 3 more after this? Something like that. So these guys are on their last life fighting for a chance at the final seat to face Klaas in the absolute final of the tournament. So as soon as Soren gets on the call, we'll get the double commentary going. In the meantime, both players are in the game at the moment. This is a ultra wide tiny, so about as big as it gets from settings, but playing on inland sea as opposed to coastal rain basin. So it's not exactly the largest map available in the tournament, but it's pretty close. Alcaras chose map type, so he's the one who's chosen these large settings, and that means Ninjaa will have the choice of pick. He's chosen Persia going first, and that leaves Alcaras the second option of whatever he'd like. I'm gonna get Soren in the call, and we'll go from there. Can you guys hear me okay? Let me know in the Twitch chat. I will post this channel in the Discord in just a second, just to make sure everyone knows it is live and going. We'll go from there. All right. Can you hear us? Great. All right. Hey, Soren.
Hey.
You are live. Just heads up. And stream is up.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me get the right settings here.
Okay. We're going to bump your volume just a little bit too.
Okay, how's that?
That's pretty good.
Great.
Try to equalize roughly with mine, and chat can let us know if one of us is too loud. I have a little bit of leeway on when I can bump around. All right, so they're in. I don't know if you saw the settings. It's tiny ultra wide, so as big as it gets. But they are playing on inland sea as opposed to coastal rain basin, so not exactly the absolute largest, but pretty close.
Right. Okay. All right. Oops. I must have spelled the password wrong. No, that looks right. Oh no, I get it wrong.
Yeah, it does show that, so I did broadcast that to the world, or at least the two people watching right now. But
okay. Oh wow, Alcaras has 10 viewers already.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Seems like a lot for the first person perspective.
Oh, it's not.
Is your
Well, are you looking at his Twitch numbers?
Yeah.
That's our perspective. That's us.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah,
okay.
we're broadcasting.
You're streaming from his channel.
Correct.
Okay. So he's not doing his own.
He is. He's doing it on his YouTube. Is running his perspective.
Ah, I got it. Okay.
With his commentary, although he's not interacting with his chat at all.
Right. Okay.
Yep. All right. So as I said, quite a large map. Interesting. This should actually have a lot of naval battles because this is a very large distance between left and right and a ton of ocean. So there's going to be some fighting in the seas, which we don't always see, which is kind of nice. And Alcaraz did go with his default strategy. I think he said as much until he gets beaten. He's playing Carthage. And despite the nerf, he's playing Carthage again. Ninja had first pick, picked up Persia. And I guess I should swap back and forth from time to time. I don't know how many games they're going to be playing on, or how many turns they're playing on simultaneous. Probably quite a lot with this size. So it might be worthwhile jumping back and forth to just kind of get some perspective. Just point out if you notice anything really interesting.
Well, I mean, this is going to be another very narrow, I would say very narrow map, but also very with, just a northern and southern pass. Like, it's hard to imagine a military push in this type of a game. So
I think
it's going to be pretty easy to defend this, the cities that you end up with.
I think if you control the water, that isn't necessarily true, because I think it is quite possible to skip a middle city.
Right.
If you have enough naval, but it would require a complete naval dominance. So I agree in that sense. Interesting too how much Alcaraz has really locked into Carthage. Because if you look at this cap, this is double elephant start, right? Double elephant, double pasture start, and every hunter nation, and there's more than one. There's only one Persia, but there's a number of hunters nations that could be taking advantage of the two extra orders, or rather the double orders off both the elephants starting. So but there's no hunters in Carthage, so he said, I don't care that those are there. I'd rather play the game that I'm used to.
Yep. Well, we keep fitzing with Carthage, and this is on the new patch, and he's just still going for it. Huh?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because that means the two nerfs that have happened since I think the last time Carthage was played is there's no trader. The traders don't get access to their merchant anymore, their free merchant, and we've also half the only 100 civics per city now, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So these aren't like earth-shattering nerfs, but I mean, obviously that they're not, doesn't make Carthage any better.
Yeah, and I think they're both quite impactful. It's another nerf to early income for Carthage. It also nerfs, on the trader side of that, it also nerfs the start at age 16 start that we've been seeing quite a lot from them. And it slows down their money by a little bit for their tribal upgrades. That all matters a little bit. And then I think the other one is very significant. I don't know how many cities Alcaraz was on in his last game, but it was a lot. And that's minus 100 civics per city in that game. When you're talking 10 or 15 cities, that's a lot of civics.
Yep.
So
I don't know if Ninja was planning to play Persia, but I mean, you may have already gone over this, but like I really love the pick. Like, there's so many pastures are possible, and tons of potential camps, and there's a lot to like about that.
Yeah, I was just starting to break down a little bit what they're for myself discover. We've got an affable schemer on Alcaraz, and she is 20 and it's turn 5, so I think that is another 16-year-old start, right?
Must be.
21 at,
Yeah, we're
yeah.
on turn 6 already. They're going pretty quick.
Yeah. I wonder if he meant to start at 16 without the ability to tutor or not. Because he shouldn't have had the ability to tutor, right? Because he wouldn't have had a courtier. So
Okay.
it's a bit strange. And if I switch back to also educated, this time looks probably, I don't know, he's got bold and educated now on the schemer for Ninja. Don't know if he started bold or started educated. And he's 23. What was the age of Alcaras again?
21.
21. Yeah. So it was 18-year-old start for Ninja. And I don't know if he started bold or started educated, but either way, those are two nice ones for a schemer. Help offset that courage loss if you started bold, and just even more science if you started educated. Both nice.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting almost 10 science from the leader. So is already 21 science. Well, 21 science to 18. It's not crazy, but still doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Um,
I like to
he picks
start.
up.
Go ahead.
Yeah, if he picks up a couple more wisdom randomly, like he'll be in a really good spot.
Yeah, I think Purge's biggest weakness being they start with techs that are not particularly good for the early game. So they do need a bunch of science to kind of break even almost on the starting techs. But they come with such good order economy that it's tough not to. It's tough not to find a way to. If you can find that way, you get a huge advantage for the rest of the game. And this looks like pretty good Persia lands. You can see already the expansion, a rider capital down there, so 2 more orders, a second scout right off the bat, goes super well with schemers. Another elephant, another 2 horses. I guess the elephant's not super good for the rider seat, but 2 more horses is 2 more pastures. Just looks very nice. And actually, I'm seeing a fair number of groves if I start counting around Persia's starting area. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 right off the bat. So a nice source of science if they want to go that way.
Yeah, he would have known this, but they're just animals all over the place.
Yep.
And so that's in a good place.
Yeah, a lot of advantages. Hunters, I think, is probably, if I had to pick one military family on a big map where it's going to be a long game, I think the Sentinel bonus scales all game. And I think the Rider one is a little bit hit or miss across the course of the game. The Champion one really falls off hard. So I like having access to Hunters for the full game for a Ninja. It's a pretty early shrine too. Looks like he's gone shrine tech ahead of anything else as Persia, and has started his first one of those. Interesting that it's Shrine of Mithra. Adjacent camps, and he hasn't put it next to a camp. He's put it next to a pasture, and ranged unit promotions. It seems unlikely in a game this big that your capital is going to be spamming a lot of military units. So I'm kind of surprised to see that here.
Yeah, I don't get that with the elephants already there. I don't. You think that might just have been a mistake? I don't know.
No, I think he's building towards the sheep, but
Sure.
I don't know why that shrine as opposed to one of his other options.
Right.
Yeah. Like I think he has one that doesn't it bonus pastures. In fact, I'm gonna go check real quick, so I'm curious. Oh, farms. I was thinking the order one that bonuses farms, but either way, I think he's moving. He wants to get the sheep in his borders. It's another half order for him. It's another source of growth for spamming out settlers. Like it makes sense the border expansion placement, but just not the particular shrine selection for me.
Right.
All right.
I mean, that's gonna be that would have been a good place for the farm one because there's gonna be a lot of farms in that area. I would assume, since they'll get adjacency to a bunch of pastures.
Yeah, and fresh water,
And
right?
there's
On the
not a
other side
lot
of
of
the cattle.
there's not a lot of rivers lying around. So, but these are small things. Maybe we should compare to how Alcaris is. He went for the totally different site. Much more dry site.
That is pretty interesting. He's gone into. I mean, makes sense on some level. You're going west. You want to expand towards the coastline on a inland sea map like this. So that makes total sense to me why he's got this site. But he's going to be a very different start because the southern site is quite a bit better with an ore, horses, and elephant and wheat right off the bat. And this other site's pretty weak here. And it does make an unfortunate rider seat for Alcaris too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to put ourselves in the mindset of them when they can only see a small fraction of the map. We see the map, we already can plan out what they should do. What I think, this is kind of too early to talk about, but one thing I'm thinking through is kind of this question of when it's time to start going for a navy, because unlike I feel like there's been a few really interesting games on like a square inland sea map, but those are kind of like small enough usually that you don't necessarily need a navy.
Yeah.
Like it could be nice, but not necessarily. Where I feel like that's gonna be different on this map. There's just so much coastline that I think the Navy is going to come into play significantly. But the one thing I think is really tough about the naval play is that it doesn't really get you much of anything else. It just gets you boats,
Yeah.
right? And so to some extent, you're kind of like sacrificing something else to get the boats. But on the other hand, you really want to be the one to get boats out there first. Having 3 or 4 boats when your opponent is spinning out 1 or 2 is a huge advantage. So there's gonna be some interesting gamesmanship, about that.
Yeah,
Uh,
the other thing that happens with boats is because of how obscure the tech tree, like kind of where you're normally going in a game versus what the upgraded boats are at. It often jumps like really rapidly from the starting boat to 2 tiers of boat up. And I imagine like if they don't hit that timing relatively close together, we might see like a totally one-sided Navy fight.
yeah. There's also so much coastline, and it's not obvious that these cities are going to connect automatically. I mean, probably I would assume they'll probably go for colonies this game anyway, but early boats could be useful just for the movement advantage, I would think. I mean, look at that mountain mess that they all have on the south.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, gonna be tough to move around in without boats. A couple other things, I suppose, worth talking about. Looks like Alcaras is picking up barracks tech already. I presume he was offered either Odeon's or that one, and that was the one that came up first, and he wants his science tech, which makes some sense to me. We look at order count. Persia already up to 14 orders a turn right now. I do want to compare that. Let's see what that compares to. Did I say 14 to 14? Is it 15 on Alcaras? Is that just from legitimacy? That's interesting. So 14.8 plus 1 is 15.8. And what was the Persian one? The Persian one was 14.7. I'm surprised to find Carthage ahead in orders right now. I wonder why that is. I'll have to look in a minute.
yeah. If Carthage wins the orders race, that'll be kind of strange. But
Would be. Use 3. I guess maybe just hasn't had time to get those improvements on his cap, really. So he's used 3 order boosts from Ninjaa. And how many on Alcaras already?
Wow.
Go ahead.
Ninja's going for a really unusual. This third site is going to the southwest corner, so he's really choosing a completely opposite strategy from Alcaraz. It's like not worrying about the lake at all.
Yeah.
And like that southwestern site, I mean, lavender. That's pretty much all it's got going for it. I don't quite understand.
I got a couple theories here from both sides of this. The first is sometimes the scout movement determines it all, right? Like the action economy wasted moving a unit away from a site that you know about for a site that you don't know about is really, really high early. So it tends to be like what you discover is what you settle. It is a bit odd to me that he's considered going south instead of east, but it will make his future expansion better in the sense of on these maps, if you expand horizontally in, you get raided nonstop from the north and south above you. So him expanding very vertically like this is going to be very low, or the raids are always going to hit his front line as opposed to hitting his side or back line. So it's going to be much more efficient for him long term like that. And it might be early enough that he's just not too worried about getting to the coast yet. And on the flip side of that, you were talking about why Alcaraz went west. It is both to get to the water fast, which he's now done, he's got there, but it's also to get access to the tribes as Carthage. He can't buy barbarians, so he doesn't want to be close. He wants to get as far away from his capital as possible to get to the tribes as soon as possible, to get them starting to be recruited. Did we notice if this was point mirrored or not? I don't know if we did.
No, this looks like a traditional mirrored map.
Okay.
Because it's like a mirror. I wonder why they chose that though. I mean, it's fine, I guess. But
yeah, I'm not sure.
Like the one thing that would be nice about a point mirror map on this is like it kind of potentially. I've always kind of wanted to see on an inland sea map, kind of a scenario where one player pushes hard on one along the north and the other player pushes hard along the south. You know, you know what I mean. So they're kind of like both moving around the same clockwise direction or counterclockwise direction. Like feels like that leads to some interesting changes of pace. But anyway, I mean, already it's totally mirrored map. It's really fascinating to see the two players take a completely different approach.
And I gotta say, I normally like Alcaraz's starts, but this feels almost man, the word that comes to mind is ritualistic, but it's not quite there, which is, I think he really forced this start. There's nothing about his capital that says traitors to me, and there's nothing about his capital that says Carthage to me, particularly. And we're already seeing this, right? Like, if we look at the growth in Carthage, even with his affable leader, he's sitting on what, 15? And if we swap back over to Ninjaa, like, I can almost guarantee that's going to be way more. If we look at this, one more, 16, but with no affable leader, right? So the cost is already his starting trait to even hit equivalency on that. And until he gets husbandry, his capital really doesn't have any growth at all, no natural growth at all. So
Yeah. What would you put there for Carthage?
for Carthage, I think I would have been very tempted to not force Carthage, even if you're concerned that
Sure.
they're real strong. Like, your opponent picked first, you don't have to
Yeah.
play against them.
I think. I mean, I don't want to speak for alcaras, but I just think he's so comfortable with Carthage and he knows like this is going to be a tough match. He just doesn't want to have to learn something as he goes. But
Maybe, but how many games has he been able to play, do you think, since the patch went live, where he's had
well,
the nerfed civics and the nerfed gold?
sure. I mean, I agree. I would like to see him adapt this because this doesn't scream a Carthage map for sure.
Nope.
Um,
3-city border boost is kind of whatever. I don't even know if it's worth it on that. I mean, it did pick up some interesting tiles for him. He needs husbandry quite badly if he's going to do anything with his capital with 3 now growth resources based on that. But he doesn't have ironworking, and I get it, not a super high priority tech right now, but
there aren't a lot of even nets available actually. Net resources once you get to the coast, for the next trader city. The best one is probably on the island,
yeah.
which he'll need a boat to get to, I guess, unless he does some weird colony stuff.
Ooh, look at this. This is sorry to interrupt, but I just seen
Yeah.
Persia's scout almost to alcaras across the water. So an early exploration play from
Nice.
Persia,
Yeah,
just for
that's
that
cool.
vision.
That's
Probably
cool to see.
that is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I
Where do you get? I mean, I guess for 14 turns in, that just the 400 civics he spent for exploration. That's a significant. When he didn't necessarily need it. That's a significant spend.
And not only is it a significant spend, he doesn't start as Persia. He's not starting rhetoric for sure. Is he starting administration? I don't remember if Persia starts administration right now. I think not, right? I'm blanking.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that is a big investment. And exploration, it's not the weakest. There's a lot of things you can do with exploration, make it strong. And we got to pay attention now to see if he's done that. One of the major things you can do is spam a number of adopts as a schemer. And he is schemer, but he has no adopts done yet. So it does seem like a very steep investment. Persia struggles with science, picking up a tech that isn't super useful in the early game outside of potentially crossing water with scouts. It's not terrible for moving around. There's a decent river system where he's at right now, so maybe he'll get some more advantage out of that. But tends to be a pretty expensive play.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he sees it, but there's actually a quite extensive river system. So
yeah,
like it's a pretty nice automatic road. Sometimes you don't see this much. There's not much by the capital or the starting cities, but once you get on land, there's a lot more than you'd expect for a map with sort of these narrow land.
Yep. Yeah, and if he can get that connected, I mean, there's no site to the south. Kind of bizarre. Almost it's like those 3 wheat ought to be on a city site. There isn't one. And if we look up to the north a bit, yeah, I suppose. And then it connects to the sea. Yeah, so if he can connect anything to that river system, he basically gets connections on everything else for the rest of the game. Because it is quite extensive and hits the river, hits the ocean on a couple of different locations. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that would be interesting. Did Alcaraz do the same? Because Alcaraz's scout was over here. Probably not. It's probably just crossed normally. Okay. I definitely
You'll definitely get there a lot faster. But,
yes. Yeah. I think it is worthwhile to keep tabs on your opponent as soon as possible. But on a map this big, you're not so like worried about them showing up midway through, like you're clearing a camp or something.
Maybe if he was hoping to snipe a few. Wait, are they playing without goody huts? I just realized I haven't noticed any.
Yeah, no goody huts.
Yeah, okay. I've lost track how standard that is for the tournament or not.
Yep, no goody huts at all. So centralization on Alcaraz, 21 science right now. Switching back over to Persia. What are we actually sitting on? 25, so quite similar. If we look at total accumulated, I doubt there's going to be much of a difference right now, but I'm a little curious. I wonder if this was the educated versus affable start. In other words, the cost of ignoring your husbandry resources. Yeah, probably. Yep. Okay. So, are we seeing a Zorro push at all? Yeah, Acolyte queued up after the Settler for his first Acolyte for the religion. And the second shrine now finishing in his rider seat, so presumably going to be upgrading there as well, although that's 5 turns away. And a third shrine finishing in his capital. Okay. Don't love his statesman seat, this being Ninja's spot. This is the lavender citrus. I mean, it's not bad for double upgrading those, but and if you can get those wheat and steal them into that statesman seat, that might be okay. But there's no civics in this area. He's not going to have access to any quarries or stone or marble or anything like that. So it's going to be pretty limited in its civics production without either good events or good leaders or a serious investment.
Yeah, it seems like an odd place for a family seat. Almost. I mean, I'm not sure what else he should have done, but you know, 'cause it's not a good hunter seat. It's just not a good city site.
Yeah,
What's to say?
I mean,
Once we get to the
not a bad
wheat,
just
there's some
random
stuff there.
statesman seat. Like you are going to want to invest the civics in a lavender and a citrus, and it has no like strategic resources, so you're probably going to be building specialists in it. So it's not bad as statesman in general. I don't think. I just don't think. I think I would have wanted something a little bit better for my my statesman cap. But again, it's almost certainly going to have been his timing, right? He wants his exploration. He teched that thing. He needs to put the city down. He gets 400 civics for settling a statesman capital. He's got to put that down, right? So it's not bad. It's just it's not optimal either. I don't think. Yeah, in retrospect, I do like Alcaras' statesman cap. There is some benefit of this border boost. His 3 cities being fully linked in land right now means he has access to all these tiles, can do some tile swapping if he needs to, can do some synergistic like border adjacencies if he wants. But I think Alcaras is going to lose Zoro from the timing that Persia has put into it. And Persia is in a much better spot to also grab Judaism ahead of
Sure. Yeah, I mean, interesting to see if he goes that route, because maybe that's what he's thinking. Maybe that's what Alcaraz is thinking, that surely Ninja will go for Judaism. But
well, he should be aware because I believe the second that Persian paganism gets founded,
sure,
the
yeah,
capital is
right.
revealed, right? So he is going to know it's coming, or at least potentially coming. But he may hope he almost certainly wants one of the religions on the map this big, right? So getting denied both the early religions is going to hurt. Now, interestingly, we did get the other religion changes live, right? So it's easier to found third religion now. Is that right?
Right. It's easier to get to Christianity.
Okay.
Yes, I think you don't need the Jewish cities yourself. But yeah, it's interesting. He hasn't. We'll see if he switches to pastors quickly. In the sense that like, oh, I'm probably not going to get Zoroastrianism because he only has 1 shrine down currently, right? So, and he could easily put, going for the cattle and the horses. I mean, that's not a bad move in general anyway. So, although that's going to be pretty too close to the Dane camp, to be a good spot for another pasture. So I don't know. I guess there's 2 pastures in Carthago, but of course that means it takes even longer to build the 2 specialists. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see what he does with that. I think he's definitely losing Zoro at this rate, and whether or not he loses the second one is TBD. But,
yeah, I mean, Ninja already has 2 pastors down, which of course should be expected as Persia. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like there's nothing you can do if you lose both of the 2 early religions, but I think he should at least be prepared for that possibility.
It looks like Ninja did use Rider Nations having the basically guaranteed Swift for their at least one of their leaders from Horse Harvest, and Ninja has picked up Swift on his schemer. We haven't seen Alcaraz do that yet. He has picked up Intelligent, but it is a vastly nerfed Intelligent, which is good. So looks like these guys coming along, developing their leaders, but not super rapidly for either of them, I don't think. Both sitting at level 2. Yeah. Okay. What do you think else of note going on? I suppose a tech pass. Alcaraz finally, he's got husbandry as a final destination in his tree. So he is thinking about either at least getting those resources online, getting the food, or the religion, or all 3, right? I think the food boost is actually super relevant for him right now. He's only making 78 gold a turn, way down from what we normally see at this stage of the game from the trader opening, and -8 food per turn. So he's going to be struggling to even put out settlers right now. You can kind of see this, right? We got a round of workers coming out of these cities instead of settlers, and he doesn't have settlers out.
Yeah.
Yeah. He needs to get that food up.
Yeah, he's got. I see he has navigation targeted, which seems like we've been circling around. But he has a lot of things targeted, so we'll see what his actual preference is once he gets through ironworking. Um,
Ninja with only one thing targeted, hydraulics.
Controls. Okay.
Oh,
All
and
right. Well,
they're on turn swaps now, so we can it'll be a little bit easier, at least for me, to follow around.
follow what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, is that just a preset 15 turn? Maybe I don't know.
Possibly.
Didn't this any discussion? Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. So Ninja will have perfect information. His schemer scouts are totally invisible. He is currently, this is alcaras, running truce with the Thracians. I wonder why. Maybe he wants to buy their units. It makes some sense, I suppose. Because normally if you have schemers, you want wars with everybody for the orders.
mhm.
But he is Carthage. And the upside of, Carthage here, he's not had to build any military units at all. But I think that is not been enough this game anyways. He's one city behind. He has a bit more military force, but not massively so. He's got a bit more sites cleared as well. Maybe that is his payoff with those early military units. The purchase ones anyways.
Oh.
Where does this militia come from? Did he build it? I missed it. If he built the militia, maybe an event militia.
I mean, maybe an event or something. Yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, Alcaraz is quite the little army right now. But it feels like Ninja is kind of riding the edge a little closer for taking these camps. Um,
Yeah, I think you are correct. Also, oddly, their scout placement is very reactive. I think Persia, with their harvest bonus and their extra orders, is maybe one of the nations best suited to taking advantage of a scout at home.
mhm.
So it is interesting to see both of his scouts deployed. I like the island one. On as I say that, criticizing like not having the harvest capability. The island one is really good though. If this island is, if it is going to be a naval game, and this island is probably the best trader spot we've found yet, having an idea of when your opponent goes for it is kind of useful.
Yeah, for sure. Because the one thing they really do want to know is when their opponent has got to navigation and is starting to do something. Uh, that's when it's you know they're probably both tempted to cheat on that a little bit to pursue other things, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I think Persia can get away with it too, generally with their extra orders, but the other nations can suffer a bit without getting serfdom. But there is some advantage. I think you were saying earlier that you'd expect them to play colonies. I think we'll see some flipping back and forth because certainly they're going to want to fill in their water their movement gaps along the coast. So I think we will see colonies from both of them at some point. So delaying might actually favor your game if you can do it, because then you can swap later. I believe this is probably an adopted kid from Alcaraz for that opinion boost. Yeah, the first kid having the opinion boost is really nice for just their yields all game. And if we look through, has he adopted more than that? Adopted, normal. So he's got 4 kids. Of course, this is 3 of them adopted. I need to check his civics next time the turn swaps over to him.
Yeah, Finch only has one kid. That's probably. I mean, maybe it's too maybe a little too late to adopt someone, but you'd like to see more kids at this point.
He's gonna be it's gonna be the civics slowing him down there. But I agree. I think the adopted kids are one of the strongest parts of. It's taken me a long time to figure this out. This was really close in this tournament that pushed that into my head as a strategy. But at least a few adopted kids is super strong for yields. And he has exploration already. He's already paid that price of getting that in there. So he doesn't even have to tutor these kids. He can just send them off exploring and get returns on science every every 10 turns or so, or whatever the cooldown is on that event. He can just get those returns going. So it'd be nice to get them out.
All right, just went for aristocracy. Ninja did.
Where are these acolytes? Hasn't started his second acolyte though. So he's given, I guess he's planning to do it in his cap. His cap has enough growth that he has another population point there. Civic still is not good here though. Just the 10, right? No 10 plus 8%, I guess. Okay, so barely. Just over 10. But not that he's creaming through those. I mean, if he does this 2 in his main capital city like that, it does give Alcaras time to come back to grab that if he wants it.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to finish the settler. How long is that? 5 years after that for the apprentice acolyte, as opposed to
No, you're talking ninja still?
yeah, ninja.
Yeah, he's gonna go 2 in his cap though. He's got the second shrine down. He's got the extra population there, and he hasn't switched over on his rider city. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see it in the second acolyte in Parsa.
Yeah, it's actually faster to do it that way in Parsa.
Yeah.
So
Where are all the map posts and the mini map of Alcaraz? Let's find out. Map posts. These pings, you mean? These are him mapping out what a so question in chat was what are the map the like little bubbles when we select Alcaraz, and those are his own chat bubbles that he's placed, and he's ahead of time deciding what type of nation or what type of family he wants to settle at those locations. That's what he's doing with those. And
it's like a lot of statesmen.
Yep. Yeah, statesmen are incredible when you spam them out because both of their bonuses are very good wide. The local civics and the orders are just incredible, and it's not the specialist one is not a bad thing at all. So having lots of statesman cities is fantastic, and they tend to compete with other families for that. But the worst one is landowners. So like Rome has the hardest time because you don't want to landowners and statesmen because they both want to be as wide as possible. But Carthage doesn't really have that trouble. So I expect that we'll see the bulk of Alcaraz' cities be statesmen all game long if he can set it up that way. Bit harder for Persia with that for that reasoning. They have the double military families. He's opted out of clerics. Clerics and statesmen also compete, kind of wanting to be wide. But this way, I mean, if he doesn't see an area that's really suited to hunters or really suited to horses, I suppose he's probably going to put a statesman seat there. Expect to see a lot of them on both sides.
I feel like there could have been an argument for him founding statesmen in Carthago, because of course it's easier to keep your family happy. That's in your like is your core family, right? And whereas it didn't necessarily seem like an awesome trader spot. So
yeah, and again, it does feel very much like that's just what he's been playing. So he didn't change it up for this game. But it does. I definitely don't think that's a particularly. It's not a start that has matched the bonuses of his nation or the bonuses of his family to its starting terrain. It doesn't mean that it can't get good later or he can't do things with it anyways. But it is bizarre. Yeah,
we've seen some Carthage trader starts in this tournament where they're making an absolute absurd amount of money early in the game, and that's definitely not what's happening right now.
Yep. Haven't even seen a second shrine from Alcaraz. He's just built the gross shrine. I guess the early Persian paganism popping up on the other side of the map, as well as his scout now sitting there watching this, has probably spooked him a little bit. Doesn't want to invest in anything else for Zoro. Doesn't think he's going to get it, which is accurate.
Yeah, I mean did he pass up in husbandry, or is that's targeted in the drop pile?
Yeah, so he didn't hit it, which he probably would have.
Surely he must know that like it's unlikely he's going to get to Judaism, but I guess we'll see.
I think he wants the food boosts on husbandry as well, though, because he's negative food. So it's like it's
still a good tech. I mean,
yeah, well, it's really good for him too because he's got a bunch of pastures that are better food than his farms that he's building next to them. So he'd really like to improve that both for raw food per turn as well as growth in his capital, as well as a chance at the religion and the boost.
I mean, this is clearly his long-term plan. So I'd be shocked if he doesn't pick husbandry next turn.
What are the founding requirements for the second and third religions? So Christianity's third, so it's now 12 citizens, 12 Jewish citizens, or just 12 citizens?
There's 12 citizens.
Anyway.
The only real, no, it means you have to have 12 citizens.
Okay.
Which could take a while. And the main issue is that you no longer need Jewish cities in your nation.
Gotcha.
It's just global.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Because otherwise, if you take them both, you could just sit on one Jewish city and wait. Yeah. And at least this way, if one of the culture events gives Alcaraz a single form of Judaism and Persia's already grabbed one city, that's going to be the two needed. That's good.
Yeah. So he'll need to. The one thing Alcaraz is going to have to do is make sure he does grab metaphysics. So he's going to have to. And right now, wow, he doesn't have administration or rhetoric.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, but he's going to have to plow through that part of the tech tree, even though he probably would rather be doing other stuff.
Yep. Might be a later religion for him. And
Yeah.
I haven't really done the rest of the grove count. It looks like, wow, there's a 4 honey site just a little bit in further. And is there more? No, not really.
That's a weird city site. Be interested to see what they do with it.
Yeah. That's still like, we're talking 8 groves, I think, right now on either side of the map. So religion for science by itself really isn't that much. But when you start combining monasteries with improved groves, it's actually a lot of science. So that might be a spot that Ninja can outperform alcaras on. And Ninja is already putting down his grove pins on the map, so he's definitely thinking about it. Whether or not he goes there, we'll see. Yeah, full block up north for moving into that area.
Well, it's something to see him target hydraulics right away, even though ballistas just got reduced in strength by 16%. So
well, there's a lot of powerful things on that tech, right? It's the the goods card, it's sovereignty along the way with the civics card on it, and then it's also just the science per city per mill, which is real strong too.
I can certainly see onagers. As long as you have a navy, I can certainly see onagers being very important on this map. If anything, also like as defense against the navy.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested. It might work as a good deterrent. I think the map is large enough. You're going to have a hard time doing anything with onagers offensively. So it might just be like borders dug in. You know,
well, yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking long term. Like these are going to be like knife fights in phone booths, right? Eventually, once they start clashing. So you're going to want something long range in the back line. Like at some point, you'll probably have more orders than you're actually able to just attack with. Period.
Yeah.
Once it comes down to combat, I don't think orders is actually going to be super important on this map. As long as you have naval transport or a good coastline.
Oh, interesting. I always think of orders as pretty much important regardless. For me, like extra orders end up being a stronger level of econ. So you tend to have more resources to throw at a problem. Like if you want to all in your onagers while building wonders, well, if you have 1 million quarries, you can do that. How did you get 1 million quarries? You had orders for a long period of time. Sure. So I'll be curious to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to make an argument that orders are not important. That's not the argument I'm making. It's more of a question of relatively to how much you would need orders in a generic old world game.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yep. And you might be right. Might be tile and blocks areas and the rest of it that might limit that to some degree when combat starts. I do like to see this acolyte coming out of alcaras. I think it's a little bit late. I think it's less of him trying to go for Zoro, though he may want to do that as well, and more of just getting some science going. But as I say that, I noticed the second shrine coming up in his capital, so it may be both. You know, it never hurts to have an early acolyte, and at the same time, if you get a shot at Zoro, great.
Yep. Yeah, well, we should be 4 turns away. Oh, is this? Sorry, I was looking at something. Were you talking about were you talking about Alcaraz or Ninja?
Well, Alcaraz has invested in a second shrine in his capital. He's started his first acolyte in the capital and looks like he's probably going to be building a second. But Ninja is about to finish, like we're rather 3 turns off from finishing his second acolyte.
Yeah, I was just going to comment that we were talking about where he would build his second apprentice acolyte, and instead Ninja just decided to build both.
Yeah,
so he's going for 3 acolytes. So why not?
Well, it's again, it's the science and culture. It's so much better. It's part of the reason why you almost never see Judaism go first, right? It's just because why would you bother? It's just the prerequisites, meeting the prerequisites is beneficial on Zoro and is not beneficial on Judaism. So it makes total sense to me.
Yeah, well, if even Persia is going, although I guess that's funny. I know I've had an issue with this, long term, where it's like, Zoroastrianism is traditionally a Persian religion, right? But if there was any nation that was well equipped to go to Judaism first, it would actually be Persia. But like you said, for the most part, people want to go Zoro first.
It's the urban specialist is just a nice specialist, especially early when your science count is so low. Like just adding 2 science per specialist as you're going, and culture from the early game, it's just such a nice payoff. Like what would be imagine you could get, I mean, especially with Judaism being limited to ranchers, it's like, what is your ideal start? What are your best upgrades even,
Yeah.
you know, like
Well, I
better
mean,
horses?
keep in mind though, a Persian rancher is getting you an extra half order,
Yeah, for sure.
right? So, I mean, that's obviously pretty significant.
Yep.
Um, I mean, I guess if you can as Persia, go for both,
Yeah, for sure.
which he probably will be able to. Um,
Yeah, I mean, on the downside, I suppose, of these excellent pastures he has here, is they are both in military cities, so no local civics boost to them, right? If these were statesman
right.
cities, we might actually see, he might decide to invest in like upgrading a horse for the specialist, just for the order, But I doubt we'll see it in a hunter capital.
Yep.
Aaron says he'd have liked clerics instead of riders for Ninja. I kind of agree. I played a clerics and statesman Persia game recently and found um, clerics to be pretty nice in that scenario. It does, again, there are some problems. Statesmen conflict with clerics. They both kind of want to be wide. If you're going to take advantage of the religion, having a bunch of cities with double yields from temples and monasteries is nice, but of course you want as many statesman cities as you can. You also lose out on the early 2 orders from the Riders Capital, which is a big problem, as well as the free connected. And the free connected is surprisingly good. It's essentially a growth boost early, which means that you're getting faster workers for faster going and faster settlers for getting going, as well as obviously the other things that connecting normally does, which is the happiness and the gold. And then there are some benefits to having to riders, like flanking's good in the mid game, kind of, So I do think it falls off a bit, Aaron, later, but it's okay still.
Yeah.
I can see it either way.
I mean, maybe this is unthinkable, but could have gone clerics instead of statesmen. I mean, if you're Persia, you've got a source of orders, and one of my arguments here is I don't think orders is going to be as important normally on a map like this. But
That's interesting. Yeah, I would love to see that played out
well,
somewhere.
especially matched with the fact that clearly he was going for a religious start as it was anyway. So he must have had this sort of planned out, and he knew that even if he doesn't get to Zorro, he certainly is going to be able to get to Judaism first. So
Yeah.
and there's tons of groves on this map. I mean, there's a lot to like about clerics on this map.
Yeah, the payoff for clerics is nice, but it's also very slow to get going, right? Because it's not at religion that you get any value out of them. It's not until really you can get monasteries going that you get any cleric payoff outside of the small order boost off divine.
Yeah. But this is going to be a long game.
Yes.
I mean, they chose ultra wide inland sea. I mean, this is no one's going to get rushed here.
Nope. And I can't imagine on a site like it's interesting. It was very interesting to me that you might even think about passing statesmen on a map this large with so many sites. I just can't imagine giving up statesmen. Like the decrees are going to be good, and the 1 order per city is maximized on the larger city.
We play these internal games at Mohawk, and one of our best player. He's clearly our best player. He will his argument is basically you should found as many cleric cities as possible, period, no matter what. And we've made some various adjustments we've changed a lot of things about clerics over the years, but he's I think that's still basically his approach. That just like if you have a long game, the amount of science you can get for clerics is just nuts.
Yeah.
And certainly we've seen that if you could have the advantage, first of all, and again, Persia is already going to be in good shape with orders because they're Persia. So if you had to choose which one to have an advantage of, would you choose orders or would you choose science? If you could only have one.
If I could only have one, and okay, so it's a question of extremes there for me. Then how far? So I'm tempted to say orders, but I guess it would depend on the discrepancy of tech. So if I don't have the tech advantage, how behind am I?
I mean, we'll say like your opponent has 25% more orders and you have 25% more science.
It's tough. I think I err towards orders slightly, but it might. I mean, it just depends. If I can hit those timings or versus defending the timings, certainly when conflict arises, more orders is never bad for me. And you can fight more technologically advanced armies, but you can also lose. You can if they hit cataphracts before I have anything that can stand up to a cataphract, I do get run over.
Yeah, I mean, I just really think that we're going to see a point where these players have more orders than they can do anything with in terms of military, right? Like obviously orders are still great. You're going to want a huge economy on this type of a map, but yeah, I mean, like we're just look how like up in the north, some of these spurs are only like 5 tiles wide. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting with this map because what you're essentially saying is that the surface area that you can have conflict on is so limited by the map set that we have right here that orders are going to be less valuable when the fights get going on this map in particular. Yeah,
Yeah.
that could be very true.
Both of these players are going to have cores that are going to be crazy by turn 80, right?
Yes, they're going to
Like
have some seriously powerful economic engines to make military with.
yeah, these cores are not going to be threatened, right? Like you can do it, you can choose whatever like boom strategy you can choose for these core cities. You will have the ability to choose that. So that's why I'm saying like I think like a long-term science strategy makes more sense than a long-term order strategy.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think most people think necessarily that like, oh, I mean, these players know, but they don't necessarily think it's like a trade-off of like, oh, I'm choosing statesmen for orders versus clerics for science. Or at least I don't think it's in their front of their mind as much as they can. I mean, the question, like, could they drop the riders? Could they drop the hunters?
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. I kind of side with Aaron on this map. Again, perfect information is always hard to tell, and we're not playing in the moment.
Yeah.
But caveats aside, if I had to drop one from Persia to get both clerics, I would not want to drop statesman. Would not be my one to choose from that 4.
Sure.
And if I'm gonna go clerics and I'm not dropping statesman, it's got to be one of the other 2, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It is fun to have the forced decision. I just like it when the configuration works out that sometimes I want one and sometimes I want another. That's my favorite setups when we get those. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would say at this point, it's a tough choice, but I think he should not have taken 2 military families. I think that's too, especially at a map like this where I think like the amount of military is going to be kind of limited.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Yeah. Don't know exactly where his scouting was at the time he made his 3rd nation choice, or even his 2nd nation choice. Remember, he settled Riders, his first city, right? So it's tough to say that might have been there. But I agree. And if we look at
first expansion city,
yeah. And if we look at this too, I mean, we haven't talked about wonders yet, but Jebel is in this game, which is a very nice wonder if you're going to play clerics, right? Those free temples. Don't even have to tech it.
Yeah.
Don't have to. You probably do want to tech it later because Doctrine's so good, but passing that in the short term to get a free temple in all your cities when half your cities are going to give you double orders out of that is pretty nice.
Yeah.
We did see a game where one of the players opted to skip Statesman. That was the last game, right? That was Oro versus Alcaras, with Oro choosing to skip Statesman on Rome.
Yeah.
Which felt insane to me at the time, and I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, Statesman's a security blanket, I think it feels like it's more like what's the curmudgeon to try to make an argument against Statesman. But at any rate, I think the main point is like, it's kind of it does seem like a shame that neither player ended up with clerics on this map, because I think that would have been an amazing family to have.
Yeah, I'm curious. I had a very fun game with him where I picked up multiple religions recently as Persia, and that was an incredible science game from them. But it did not come online at all until I had groves and monasteries both. That's basically that's when they start paying off, and that can often be very late in a game. All right, so in this game, what do we have going on? So presumably Zorro got founded. Let's have a look. Or maybe about to be. Yeah, it must be about to be because they just finished second acolyte.
Just finished a part.
Yeah,
and I guess it'd be founded this turn.
How close was Alcaras? Alcaras hasn't started his second specialist yet, so presumably not close at all. So he did not really try to contest that. Maybe just started working towards it if Ninja took too long. But Ninja clearly getting that.
He is researching husbandry, so it'll be interesting to see if I would expect Ninja should go straight into ranchers right now. Like that would be a very strong play. They're obviously great as Persia anyway. So
yeah, I wonder if he will be willing to make that short-term sacrifice for that, because it is quite costly. It's going to take him, assuming he spreads it across 2 cities, they're probably 7 or 8 turn builds, 6 in the cap, and what in these other cities? Yeah. Yep.
I think it's worth it. It's worth it just if purely for denial.
Yep.
So Did you see the water mills already placed, like
Yeah,
already
pinned.
down as hints? These long-term plans. I mean, I get those are good spots for them. Next to a couple mine spots. Guess what else do you do with that type of territory? I guess, but yeah,
I do that too.
they love.
I tend to
Yep.
pin things that I know I'm going to get to at some point in the game, especially if they require like adjacencies. The earlier you can get them down, the better
Yeah.
you can plan around it. So I love
Yeah.
that.
So you don't forget. You don't
Because,
forget about it.
I had this question asked me. I was doing a dev consulting somewhere, and we were talking about adjacencies for this game, and I was very anti adjacencies at the time, and I figured out why in the end. And part of it was, for me, what changed it was not having to carry it around in working memory all the time while I'm playing. So being able to put it on the
Mm-hmm.
map changed it from something I disliked to something I actually kind of enjoyed a little bit, like small amounts of adjacencies, because it stopped being a mental burden to carry that. It was just more like, okay, I place the pin, I can worry about it later. I get my adjacency, I get my bonus, I work for it, great. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of
Right.
interesting to me.
So you would have had a harder. You would have. You'd have a hard time enjoying the system in Old World if you didn't have the pins.
Yeah, by a
That's
lot,
basically what you're saying.
because I'd have to
Yeah.
carry around the adjacencies for all future
Yep.
like buildings in my head as I'm doing these things, and it's just a
Yeah.
lot. So
Yeah. I mean, Civ 6 leaned into that pretty hard, obviously, and you can see that there's kind of it's one of those like kind of mouse look things of like some people like up, some people like down. Like some people just react very negatively against that, and other people just love it. And yeah, so I think you do have to consider those other people who do find it kind of annoying to try to like feel like you have to plan everything out from day one. Um, I will say that we intentionally put like obviously Old World has adjacency bonuses, but I tried to make them pretty light. So obviously if you're doing a competitive tournament, then you got to do what you got to do to be good at the game. But like theoretically, you could play Old World without worrying about that stuff too much. Um,
yeah,
but yeah,
I tend to be a min maxer in the games that I play, so I tend to like, if I find out there's a way to get half an extra order, from
yeah,
building my things in a diamond as opposed to a line, well, I'm gonna tend to build a diamond.
yeah.
So yeah,
I think the point is my approach to it is it should never be high enough that you would never not do the adjacency. Am I saying that the right way? The
yeah,
point is that like if there's like some other resource or there's some other reason why you would not do them adjacent, you get the perfect adjacency, like you should be willing to do that from time to time,
yes,
depending upon that.
yeah, because it
'Cause
makes it
otherwise
more
it's
fun that you adapt as opposed to just you memorize a
yeah,
single pattern and rotate that pattern for your city. That's not a very fun way to play a game. So
yeah, it's not really a choice. You're
yeah,
just trying to do the stamp everywhere.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. Ninja about to lose the city site back to barbarians. 2 turns till it becomes a hovel again.
oh really?
Yeah, I'm
Where is
sure he doesn't
that?
want that
Oh,
in between his
interesting.
3 cities over here. He's got to throw a unit on there. I'm not sure if he's tracking on that or not.
Maybe he doesn't care. You want to farm some experience, but I doubt it. I mean, he just cleared one city site, so he could move there next turn. But
Yep.
every once in a while, we see in these tournaments someone do something that's just
Silly.
awful. But it's they're under time pressure. This is
Yep.
very difficult.
Yep. I do like this northern city here. A ton of quarries coming down. I think it is a mistake on a map this big to ignore the power of wonders, especially per city wonders. We saw pyramids get pinned for Alcaras. He hasn't started them yet, but he's at least considering it. And I don't know if I've seen a wonder pin yet out of Ninja, but he has a 6 quarry ambition. But that's a choice. He chose that ambition over 2 others, so it could have been the easiest to make, but it also makes some sense to get early stone going. It's going to pay off all game long.
Yeah. Having said that, having discussed that, the first 2 sets of wonders, they don't. I mean, pyramids would be great, obviously. Jebel Barco will be great for Ninja, but they don't seem as like compelling as they could be based off of this current map situation.
Certainly, I agree with Lighthouse on that. Apadana is it's a tough one to evaluate because gold changes in value across the course of the game, and it's often hard to get a sense of what that is without adding them all up. But a wide empire is going to Apadana is going to be quite good for a very wide empire for the gold it's going to return. And then I think I agree with that otherwise, though. Hanging Gardens could actually be pretty big on this map, too, surprisingly. They have a lot of expansion to do.
Yeah, I think it'll be easy to underrate Hanging Gardens. I mean, I would probably still go for pyramids first, but they'll need it. Maybe maybe Alcaraz will need it to get to Christianity. Should be important.
That's fair.
Currently at 3 citizens.
Is he?
Oh, he's got a ways to go.
Wait, it's
I don't know if this...
citizens? It's not a
Yes.
population? Oh, I
Oh,
wasn't
wait.
tracking on that. If that's
Hold
different.
on. I know we discussed this, so I've forgotten if we changed it or not. But I think I just looked at it. I think it still says citizens. Yeah, it still says citizens.
Okay, so he's got to have 12, or is it 12 or 13? Let me look again. 12 non-specialist citizens sitting around.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that's okay.
So it's tricky, you
Yeah.
know. It's sort of tricky to get there. You gotta be careful not to build too many specialists, I guess, which is, you know, sometimes not the way you want to play, and so on and so forth. And you know, and this is Christianity started as a lower class religion. Like this is the reason why it's there. And you know, it's funny sometimes you have these discussions where it's like, oh, maybe it should just be population, and sometimes you have to stand up for like the thematic reasons for things. Like you know, this is all like, it's hard to define when it's the right time to do that, when it's the wrong time to do that. But I felt like that's like it's a little, you know, it's a little twist to flavor that I feel would be kind of sad to lose. So
Yeah. I don't think I knew until this moment what the founding requirements for Christianity were, anyways. Like I almost only ever play dual games, right? So it's so rare that we're even worried about the third.
You have to
religion.
worry about it.
Yeah,
yeah, it just pops up.
It just happens. Yeah, at some point farther in the game. Yeah. So that's funny. But I had not been tracking on the fact that it was citizens instead of population. That makes it you definitely will have to interact with that a bit more. That's not going to happen by accident unless you're real wide or you know, just a real growth heavy map. Outgrowth on freedom, so he has a better chance of getting that with his extra growth already. But still a ways to go.
Yeah. Well, Ninja got a nice first ambition, or second ambition, I guess. Established Zoroastrianism as a state religion.
That's pretty much forced, right? That's the Cartier event, which pretty much triggers every time you get Zoro, and then he gives you that ambition.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, so. It's almost a 1-to-1 free ambition, essentially, if you get Zoro.
Right. The pyramids just went down by Ninja.
By Ninja, okay.
Yep.
That's good. I like to see this. I haven't seen enough of Ninja's games, and I played a million games with Alcaras. I've played 0 games with Ninja, so I don't know him as well as a player. But I like to see that he is gonna be competing with Alcaraz on that stage, that side of the game. You know.
Yeah.
So it's important.
I mean, in total civics, this should negate the Carthage civic bonus. You know, obviously at different times, so it's still better to be Carthage. But you know, long term, it will help balance that out some, as opposed to the other way around, which is quite bad for Ninja.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. You're talking the global 20. Oh, you're not. You're talking the law stuff. Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, spending less civics on laws, which is already even less necessary for Carthage. He already gets extra civics and so on and so forth. But was Alcaraz even close to getting to? I mean, he has 0 stone, so he was not even really starting to sniff it.
Yep. I guess it might be worth taking a quick look again. So science is fairly close at the moment per turn. Looks like we've got a net of like 60 or so for Persia ahead. And then the one I was going to check here was I was curious about improvement count, because this is the one that we really should start to see the impact of Persian orders on, is we should see this on improvement count. So I wanted to have a look at that. We're seeing 19 to 18 right now, so only 1 ahead for Persia. So not particularly leveraging the orders there. They're going to be going somewhere, but I am not clear exactly where he's spending them yet. If we check a look at the cities, we're on 5 for Persia and 4 for Carthage.
I mean, he was doing heavy. He was doing heavy exploration early. Maybe I don't know.
0 adoption still, sadly, for Ninja. Curious about Alcaraz's family size. He's kept it at 4 for the moment, presumably because he doesn't have exploration. Yes. He doesn't have a ton of extra civics either. What's he at? 200 right now? Does he have his and he does not yet have his elder shopkeeper up.
It's pretty sad to see 1 lonely wisdom point from Ninja's entire succession.
Yeah. Yep. I do think if I had to, I think Alcaraz is using Schemer slightly better there to get the 4 heirs that are going to be contributing to stats throughout their life essentially. I think getting those on the board is really nice.
Yeah, by comparison, right now Alcaraz has 10 total rating points contributing from this succession.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. This is quite a lot. And it's
I
useful
assume
too.
that's
Like there's like a kind of like mid to late game like lull almost in characters that often occurs in my
mhm,
games where I just don't have characters to do like so many of the things I would like them to be doing. And you can offset that a bit with the heavy adoptions because you tend to like breed out families that are good for everything. You know, it's like so you need
right.
an ambassador. Well, you're like eighth cousin removed who's out like been exploring for 40 years, comes home and is suddenly a decent ambassador, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah. City count, what are we seeing? 2 hunters, 2 riders, and a single statesman for Ninja, putting all of our talk about order of economy to, just down by the side, right? I guess he's
Right.
settled. Capital as a hunter makes total sense with the double elephants. This northern city, I guess, has 1 game. Maybe that's enough to make you want to settle hunters because you need them somewhere. I guess the horse is there too, so maybe just thinking military in general. But it does
Yeah.
seem like I'd like to see some more statesmen coming out of this. I wonder if he even has order advantage. I guess I should have checked that as
Yeah.
well as just improvements.
It's interesting. Alcaras is only producing 1 settler right now, and as far as I can see, I don't think he has any on the board. Whereas Ninja is already ahead by 1 city and is spitting out 3 settlers.
It's food again, right? So that's the limiting factor for Alcaraz. He doesn't have the money to just buy all the food he wants, and he doesn't have good sources of food without husbandry. So now he's got husbandry done. You can see his first cattle going up.
Yep.
I bet you we'll start seeing some settlers, but it's exactly that.
Yep.
I want to see if there's any. I got to check for ranchers here. So we did see Zoro go to Ninja a couple turns ago, and where's the holy city? His second rider city is his holy city. It's a bit of a miss for him, I think, but not the worst, I suppose. And what we're looking for, ranchers. Don't see any ranchers coming up right now. Okay. Though it's got to be a little bit spooky to try to grab Judaism from Persia as a non-husbandry civ.
It's kind of hopeless, I would think. But as of yet, he's not going for any ranchers, Ninja, so maybe.
No ranchers from Alcaraz yet. And Alcaraz is really struggling with queues here, right? Like he doesn't want to, I can see him not wanting to particularly invest in more workers right now, but he needs settlers and he's not building them and he's not building workers, which I get. He doesn't want more food upkeep. He doesn't have the orders to support him anyways. But I hate seeing like an elephant supply in the rider seat right now. Like it's so early for that. Like I get you might want it later, but man, that's just 3 dead turns right now on turn 29.
Yeah. Well, I'm really surprised. I mean, we sort of already discussed this, but like I'm really surprised that Alcaraz is keeping up in science. But it's pretty much all coming from his succession. So without that adoption, he'd really be falling behind at this point.
Yep.
Because everything else is pointing is much better for Ninja as far as science.
Yep.
Got all the specialists out. Has a leader with a much higher wisdom.
Look at this though. So Ninja already at sovereignty. So both tyranny and constitution are incredible texts, or incredible laws all game long. So I wonder if he will wait the pyramids out or if he's gonna drop that like next turn. Because if I don't know that he's had the opportunity yet, the way he's been spending civics to grab kids to adopt yet. But now if he's planning to wait on the pyramids for his future laws, now would be a really good time to do that. So he still has that chance to kind of even that out a little bit if he thinks of it.
Yeah. What? I mean, are you taking tyranny or constitution?
This map, constitution.
Yeah. So that's what I was looking at. That. It's already 4 science. Seems like a pretty good. I don't know. I'd be tempted. I mean, you either take it right now or you wait. You take it next turn, probably. Well, he's gonna be 3 civics short.
Yeah, it would have been nice if you ran a single council here.
Single council, yeah, it would be a good time for it. It's tough call.
I could see waiting with the pyramids too, but if you're going to do that, which is a reasonable thing, I would like to see some adoptions, or maybe he's got a second wonder plan. We got to remember there's other sources of civics, but other uses for civics, but. Yeah, Aaron, that's 100% my take too, Aaron, is that he's looking for something to build in the city that isn't wasted, and he doesn't want another worker from there for a variety of reasons. Anyways, I didn't mean to cut you off, Soren. What were you about to say?
Oh, I was about to comment on the elephant supply. Okay, he's finally getting some more settlers going, and yeah, I feel like I mean, beyond the great work with his adoption, like I just don't kind of see a real edge that I like that Alcaraz has right now, like just at a high level, 30 turns into the game.
Yep. I am a little bit surprised too. I just for the first time had a look at what the. I guess they can't get to the northern part because it's mountain blocked. Okay, so I was surprised by Alcaraz's lack of exploration in the northern part of that, but that makes a bit more sense, I suppose, remembering that land block and he doesn't have exploration yet. You're looking for advantages for Alcaraz, huh? Well, I think Persia is one of the strongest scaling nations with their inherent order bonus like that. Their discount on range units is really good as well on a wide map like this. And 2 military cities is gonna, if it does come down to a number of units as opposed to the number of tiles to fight over, that's certainly a bonus that you're happy to have on all your cities, the extra training. So I agree
Oh,
on
I'm
that
looking.
level. It looks pretty nice for Ninja.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the and with him already doing really well, arguing the wonder down and looking great at the religions. And seems to be ahead of the city count and the settling count. Like things are looking pretty good for Ninja right now.
Yeah, well,
Um,
I don't know what his. I don't know what his. Again, I don't know him as well as Alcaraz. But Alcaraz has a pretty decent specialist science game, so it is possible that he could make up some ground there. I suppose civics is going to be the other thing that Alcaraz is likely to have more of, generally as a whole, when he gets expanding. So maybe he can do something with some civics rushes in the mid game that might matter. You know what he might,
yeah.
what Ninja might be saving this civics for too, is he may just want to get that state religion going immediately, get that
Yeah.
immediate
Oh, sure. Get
legitimacy.
the ambition. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that probably makes sense. And then wait for the pyramids to help you out with the next one. Yeah,
yeah.
that's probably the right call. Um,
It
yeah.
would.
I mean, as we often say about Carthage, I mean, Carthage is supposed to be an early game civ. I mean, obviously it's been a strong civ in general, but it's always supposed to be stronger early in the game. And with all of these, he's converted a bunch of done the thing, converted a bunch of tribal units. But those tribal units are not going to be doing anything against Ninja. They're just to help him clear sites quickly, which that's great, I guess. But it's almost like you clear them too quickly. Like you can't, like ultimately you need to clear them for your settlers, and those are still quite a ways away.
Yeah, yeah. The food situation is really slowing Elkers down, and that is probably a combination both of his forcing Carthage to a terrain that didn't seem to support that super well, and then the
Yes.
nurse to his gold
Yeah.
income. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, his food is 6.7.
Yeah.
That's pretty expensive. He's gonna have a hard time buying food at that price. Um,
Just seeing a totally different gameplay going on here again. So from how I would play this, so Ninja dropping another rider city. This is his third rider city before his second statesman city. As a nation that, as a family that I probably would have skipped in his situation, it's odd to how much he's focusing putting their cities down. I guess it's
you
just
know,
for that growth bonus. Like I can't see another reason why you'd care about Rider City and Raga as opposed to anything else. You know?
yeah. I mean, I guess it's connected.
Yeah, I know.
Like you said, right? So that's nice, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
outside of the growth bonus, I can't figure out why that would be there. And this is the other problem with going the single, like, so maybe he's considering treating statesmen basically as I'm not going to build many of these. I'm just going to have the one. That one is going to spam my decrees for the rest of the game, kind of deal. That's its goal. But the problem with that is if statesmen are envious, it's hard to get them happy, and their civics bonus scales with happiness, right? So it's like
yes,
you
yes,
don't want a small number of statesmen for a variety of reasons, including you can't
yeah,
utilize one of their major bonuses if you have a small number.
yeah. I mean, having 6 cities and one statesman right now, that's it's a choice,
That's not
right?
a configuration I would have thought. Yeah, exactly. And again, I love
Yeah,
watching the players who do real well in these duels do not always play like I do, which is always really interesting for me because then you see
yeah,
you see and you get to think about that and then leverage at some point. And like like I liked Aaron's clerics play a lot. It kind of got me interested in poking around with them again. And I'm not sure that I like them yet. Like I'm not sure they're doing that much for me in general, but I like thinking about the different ways to play it that I get to see from this tournament, which has been really fun.
yeah. Scientific mentioned that Ninja is clearing sites very smoothly with just kind of 3 units, just kind of moving together in this little army. And like I do feel like sometimes like the speed from Carthage can be a little overrated, where you're just buying troops. Like I feel like if you get a core army with 3 generals and some nice promotions, like you can just you can wreck house pretty easily if you're just kind of jumping from site to site, which is what Ninja has done. And he hasn't had to go any faster because he's still pumping out settlers very quickly. So it feels like essentially that advantage for Carthage hasn't done anything. in this game. I mean, if anything, maybe
Yes.
it's just made Carthage spend a bunch of money that would have been better spent on settlers.
Yep, I agree.
Um, so I feel like to really actually do something with Carthage advantage, you have to find a way to make those mercenaries actually apply pressure to the other player, which was just never going to happen on this map. Um,
I don't I don't agree with that last bit. I think you want to leverage them somehow, and I don't think it has to be to the applying pressure to the other player. I think you can leverage them for high economic build in your cities while still expanding at a rapid pace. But if you can't expand and you can't pressure your opponent, then you're really not getting any value out of that early Carthage stuff for sure. So I'm surprised that
yeah,
Ninja's choice to go north here rather than south. Like if I see a 4 grove city
right.
with camels as Persia with access to both hunters and statesmen for this, and I've already chosen land consolidation as a tech I'm going for. I feel like that would be a really priority city to get going.
I think it's just where his units were. Like his units are kind of making
Yeah,
this
could
little
be.
roundabout path, and he could have gone south or could have gone north with those units, but he went north to get Raga.
Yeah,
Um,
but man, look at the north south. Like even going from north of Raga, right? It's like five hills in a row to
yeah,
get to that
yeah,
Thracian site versus
and
just
essentially, I don't know if we pay attention to this, but he had to found Raga to even be able to jump across the water there, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
it was almost like he had to commit if he's going to do that. I mean, clearly these are important sites. We haven't mentioned, but Alcaraz probably has navigation now. I mean, this is the one thing that I went 2 turns away. This is the one thing that Alcaraz has that the Ninja doesn't. Of course, it's hard to necessarily turn that into a huge advantage at this point, but he's going to be getting to the Navy much faster. Um, without the without the econ to support it, it won't necessarily matter. But
Next
did
turn
do
on
that successfully.
navigation for Alcaraz. He's not there yet, but he will be very shortly, as you pointed out. Centralization, or rather, Constitution, rather, is enabled now on Ninja. So he not only has that, but he will be broadcasting that science bonus to Alcaraz. So Alcaraz will know that he's down that side of the tree. So I
Yeah.
think Alcaraz could be pretty confident he's going to be first to navigation here. Not that that necessarily gets him anywhere.
Yeah, especially it really doesn't get him anywhere. He literally has no cities, no coastal cities, um, which is really kind of odd considering he initially founded straight west towards the water. So
Well,
yeah,
I don't
I
hate.
mean, I get why he didn't go for that site because
Yeah,
frankly it's a horrible site. It's
yeah.
on the water. Maybe should taken the one. He doesn't have hunters. Maybe taking the one that's near all those deer. But it is. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. Like if you get navigation and you can't build any boats, I mean,
No,
obviously
I pick up navigation
colonies.
all the time when I'm not building boats. You take it for the orders, the 5 orders.
Yeah, sure. You
Yeah,
want
yeah.
serfdom. Well, it'd be interesting to see if he goes for serfdom or colonies at this point.
Well,
I
we
don't
haven't looked
necessarily.
at heirs yet, so let's see. His Alcaraz's heir is a builder, so he doesn't have access to a judge. So I was kind of expecting to see his normal schemer into judge opening. So you're right. It is going to be more costly to just assign and forget about that navigation because you're not going to be able to quick swap to man, I'm blanking on the tile buying law right now. But
The colonies.
yeah,
Yeah.
colonies. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's no way both players are going to be in colonies at some point in this game,
Yes, 100%.
right? Like this map definitely calls out for colonies. So the question is like, do they jump on it right away? Um, it's kind of similar to navigation though for Alcaris, and that like although he will need colonies, I don't necessarily see a use for it right now,
Yes.
because it's certainly most useful when you have coastal cities. So I assume he's going to go into serfdom quickly, but I mean he's got all those units, so um, but okay, he'll just have to do a swap when appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, like I maybe will, if I'm part of the post game interview, maybe I'll ask Ninja about some of these things because, like, to me, the site with the triple wheat would be a pretty priority site early. Like, if I'm going
Mhm.
religion and I'm going settlers on a large map like this, I would really like to have triple wheat available to me. That seems like a great way
Yeah,
to be pushing those units out rapidly. But that's unsettled. You skip that for sites like Raga.
yeah.
Uh, I am pleased to see what is it, Zadrakarta be a hunter cities with a triple gain. That's another massive growth production site for him. But it is yet another city that's not a statesman city. So now we're at
I mean
3 and
that
3.
city was that city was always gonna be hunters.
Yeah, for sure.
But that sort of begs the question, like, where, what's his plan? Where where the statesman city is gonna go?
No, I think we've seen his
Um,
plan. I think he's announced his plan by this pattern of settlement. I think the plan is he's going to treat statesmen almost as other players treat patrons or sometimes clerics, right? Which is you limit
mhm,
their number because you're only looking for the capital bonuses. So essentially, with clerics, you do that essentially for spamming some missionaries. The rest of it, you're not really caring about. You're not looking for their wide bonus. You're just looking for the law and the missionary spam potentially. And for patrons, you do it for like a single city. You don't care. They offset the happiness from developing anyways. The happiness lost from that. But then for the statesmen, I don't know. I don't know why you'd only want the single for that. So I mean, that's the plan.
yeah,
He's suggesting he's going to be doing by this settlement pattern.
yeah. I mean, presumably that site northeast of the family seat, that certainly will be a statesman city. Um, but I guess I don't know. Both players have gotten their grove shrine down, not adjacent to any groves.
Yeah,
Um,
that makes sense. Makes sense. Has a bonus up front, and getting groves online is very late in the game, so makes sense. And I like this last shrine that Alcaras has thrown down and Leptis to grab the double wheat. Like, you almost don't care then. Yeah. And I'm not sure about you, Soren, but almost every game I watch or play these days, everyone is going polytheism at least for a portion of the game. So I suppose if they really
mhm,
want the grove adjacencies, they can fire that off.
right. It's not super important. Just thought it was kind of amusing.
Yep.
There are a few scattered here and there.
Well, but it's
Um,
groves, right? So the bonus isn't even online until the grove is put online. It's
yeah,
not the starting. It's not like
that's not
citrus or
the
lavender.
resource.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely an argument that you should take a bonus now is better than
A bonus
waiting
later. Yeah.
for the perfect placement. Um,
Yep, for sure. But city count is definitely in Persia's favor, which is, you saw me stumble over the words there. It's funny because it's so rarely Carthage versus anybody else that it's in the favor of the anybody else, but it is here. So I think Ninja's done a good job with this opening, or perhaps
mhm.
not to be rude about it, but perhaps Alcaris has dropped this opening a little bit in terms
Yeah,
of
what I really like is the balance of Ninja's opening. Like, it seems like he's gotten the balance of just the right amount of military to clear at the right rate, with the right amount of settlers coming out, with a economy that's not it's not amazing, but it's kind of coming along as it should be, as it needs to be at the right time. He hasn't spent doesn't say, I mean, I don't know what he spent his money on, but presumably he's used it judiciously at the right time. It seems like he hasn't come up short on anything that he needs to when he needed it.
no.
Um,
And if you think about what he's managed, like the types of things that players compete at this stage of the game, it's been very clear that he's done that well, right? Because he's got the first wonder, he's got the
yeah,
first religion, he's got more
yeah,
cities out right now, and he's got equal levels of scouting, and he's ahead in science. I mean, that
yeah,
suggests someone whose early game went as they wanted it.
yep, yeah. Everything is balanced. Whereas Alcaraz seems like he was too successful in some categories and not successful enough in others. And if that happens, then your success in one category gets kind of basically it's for nothing to some extent. Um, so yeah, it's interesting. I love building settlers. I'm a settler spammer. I kind of would like to see two ranchers right now. Just
Yeah.
take that Judaism off the map. Like, I know that's going to delay your settling, but
Oh, we
it'd be
missed the
pretty
start of
nice in a
Hanging
two-player
Gardens.
game.
So we
So where'd
have
that go?
now.
Is that
It's
Alcaraz?
no, it's not. So both
Oh,
pyramids
wow,
and
really?
Hanging Gardens going to.
Well,
Yep, it's exciting.
guess maybe he can enjoy his Christianity as well.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it's all the religions. It's just gonna be like a grove with 4 monasteries around it. It's gonna be
yeah.
perfect. I don't know. I've never connected 4 monasteries. Do they just instantly form a brewery if that occurs?
I don't know. I mean, then we can spend more time lamenting the fact he doesn't have clerics.
Yeah. Yeah.
But um, oh wait, he already? Wow. Um, the Ninja already has 12 citizens.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
obviously, with all the cities, I mean, it just sort of makes sense. It's not that surprising.
yep.
But
So all he needs to do is grab
Alcaraz is
metaphysics.
at 5.
Huh. Okay.
Well, and he's actually found
Yes.
Um,
Yes. He's got to get those
so
ranchers going.
so yeah, get those ranchers down, and
I gotta say, I'm
So
excited to see this Hanging Gardens go down. This wonder never goes in my games. Like the time of expansion where this is most useful it's just almost always some other wonder is picked up instead. So I love
right.
this early Hanging Gardens. I want to see it do something. So I'm excited.
Yeah. I mean, it's not flashy, but it's a really solid wonder. Like it's some wonders can kind of, they don't necessarily deliver the thing that you want them to, but like you're gonna get use out of Hanging Gardens. Period. Um,
Scion's pointed out something fairly interesting, I suppose, which is I don't know if that's intentional Scion or just happen chance here. But there are a
mhm,
number of ninja settles that have managed to hit the
because it's
settler type of the
yes,
actual city. So there's the extra population coming out of that, which is nice if you have a use for it. I mean, it's detrimental if they just sit around as citizens doing nothing because it costs you more happiness, but
mhm,
or more standing anyways. But
yeah,
yeah. But if you can use them, that's great. That's a fantastic
yeah,
boost. It's a lot of time to grow a population.
yeah. It can be kind of hard to arrange, but oh, I guess we hadn't noticed that new city up in the north is a statesman, so
Yeah, that's the second one. He's
he's
got to do it
finally
at some point. I mean, I think is it 3 cities difference and they start accumulating like it's 20 MB and then it's like another 20 or 40 per. It's quite a lot.
yeah, yeah. I forget. I mean, this thing I was wondering if he's going to start getting in trouble from that. If I look at their unhappiness, Kiwa cities is at -40. Um, I mean, the one thing that's not great about this is like he's foregoing any sort of distant boost, distance happiness boost. Um, whereas it seems like he could have clustered his statesman cities kind of down in the southwest, but
Yeah.
oh well.
Yeah. The best city site I think for his growth strategy and religion strategy is still the last one to be settled. It's funny.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. I mean, if he got clerics at that point, he maybe would have prioritized that spot instead.
Do you see
Um,
Alcaris's ambition right now?
no, what is it?
It's it's
Found a world where oh
it's
man,
perfect.
the game
Telling
is
him,
like
yeah, buddy, you need
yeah,
some help. It's saying you got to get a religion down.
yes.
Yeah, that's
Either
good.
that or it's the game is dragging him or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, the South is just a mess. Like the territory down there just is awful
Yes.
to move through, and so I can get
Well,
like
worse than that, lakes like that spreading of lake because of travel units and barb units, they can move in and out of water on a single turn like that. They will.
mhm,
You can't keep them off your improvements with that type of tiles because they just dip
yeah,
in and out and pillaging stuff. So it's a nightmare if you get raided in cities with those type of lakes as well. So
yeah. It's just a weird site, and it's obviously gonna be great when groves are online, but that's
yep, it could be a bit
it's a
still.
long way it's a long way away. So
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, the one thing I'd say though is maybe we could push on the South because it's the site that has the middle city, and you know it would be nice to get there first.
Yeah, it'd be a good
Um,
staging ground to get anywhere.
is there no way to cross to that middle island though?
Middle
Get
Island.
territory there?
Um.
The Zagros Mountains? I'm
Oh,
trying
is
to
it
think.
no
I
way to
mean, you
cross
get
for
a har
what? If
you
if
could
you
put
have
a
a city?
harbor. Yeah, if you have a city, you could put a harbor on one of those little corridors, which would spread out, would grab the crabs.
Oh, I see. I
Or
wonder if I don't. Are the crabs out of range of the city
even
settled in?
1, 2. Yeah, I think so. Because it's two, a range of 2 from the site you settle on. So, but even if you get the crabs,
Hmm.
like that's not going to get you the silver or the gems.
Yeah,
It's just it's a weird weird island. Um,
yeah, it is. And I suppose if you let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you settle on the coast too, if someone else can put like onagers on those hills, it would overlook your city. And
oh man, that would
yeah,
be pretty fascinating. Yeah, there's a lot of painful things. There could be a lot of really interesting naval stuff that we could get to. Um, but
yeah. Scion points out that these are there's coast, so you can't buy
right,
ocean tiles with colonies, but you can buy coast tiles. So he
yeah,
might be able to get the crabs from buying coast here. I don't remember how the adjacent. I think it's directly adjacent to get ahead of it, right? So I don't know.
you'd have to.
There's a round of ocean in between the crabs and the pearls, which you
Yeah,
can't buy. You have to have one of those in his borders. I suppose if you no, because even if you then upgrade the pearls, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you
I
can
think
get that.
I think you need the harbor. I think that's the only way to do it.
You might.
Um,
You very well might. Or a culture event. There's a lot of culture events to add either resources or I think calamities
mhm,
are off, so there's no calamity harbor. But
yeah,
okay. Harbors are way away too. But we might see them
yep,
earlier in this game than we would expect to. They got a boost recently. And if people are really fighting for the water, then we might see that tech come online a little bit earlier than we normally do.
Yeah.
So we do have a judge as the follow-up for Ninjaa, minus 120 standing right now. So not contributing anything in the short term. But really, I feel like a really low in legitimacy count for me. Maybe 34. I'm not really sure. I don't have that memory for when a thing occurs necessarily. So what is this? This is 8 times having bought schemer orders over 34 turns. It's a little lower than we normally see alcaras run. Let's see if he's done something different. 20 or 12 for the same number of turns. Yeah, makes sense. Persia having the orders and Carthage not. And looks like alcaras did lose his leader. I wonder how long ago that was.
2 turns ago.
48. That's pretty early.
So what we got? We got builder. Okay.
Yeah.
I see some worker span coming. Oh, we got a rancher coming to Carthago. I didn't notice that. All right, is Ninjaa dropping the ball?
Maybe. Or maybe it's better than dropping the ball. Maybe it's forcing your opponent to improve some ranchers when he gets to improve acolytes, you know?
I mean, it just seems so strange. Like, I feel like Ninja's gonna want to build ranchers at some point. So I don't know.
For what?
For the orders.
You think? I would be surprised if we see non-statesman cities build ranchers in this game at all from Ninjaa.
I guess. I mean, like, ranchers are, whatever, okay, right? And, the Persian ranchers are an extra half order.
Yeah, the Persian ranchers is definitely as good as it gets, for sure. But, like, I rarely find the time even to, like, like, you think about it this way, hunters with elephants, right? Like, sometimes I get an elephant improved, but a lot of times I don't. It just takes so long. If I have a judge, maybe, judge in population, I suppose if he is lots of growth and as well as hanging gardens, he may get there.
Yeah. Well, the whole point is to deny Judaism anyway, so I guess we'll see. The three turns left on Persia's 2 settlers, and so theoretically, he could be planning to make this, swap right into ranchers. Then we'll see.
Yep. 3rd wonder down for Ninjaa. He started Giron Aqueduct. It is a
Where did he
5
put
node.
it?
It's up in his northern city.
Oh, he's already got everything listed down.
Yep.
Interestingly, not near. I was wondering if either of them were going to put them down near all those wheat tiles. That would have been an option for Alcaraz, but his economy is just not. Though Ninjaa's economy is not amazing. He's got plenty of stone, but not necessarily the type of economy I look at and think, oh, that person's going to just crank out wonders.
Yeah, I think Ninjaa's economy is great. Like, essentially, what he's running is, it's like not a gold-based economy, really. He's got an okay gold income, to be fair, but he's got enough of all the resources that he's got stone production, and he has food production, so he can build his settlers. He can get some wonders out. Yeah, it's going well for him.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really need iron. What I like is that he's cheated on iron, right? Because like there's not necessarily a need for it right now. So just enough to get by. And I guess he's chopped when he's need to, basically. Although I haven't never even seen that, but
Possibly
food and stone.
Yep.
Yeah.
He needs 3 cities up on Alcaraz right now. So Alcaraz is 3 cities down, 3 wonders down, turn 35. That's a pretty and Zoro, and that's a pretty big discrepancy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like,
I mean, in terms of raw numbers, like at this point, Alcaraz's economy is better. He's producing actually a lot more stone, a lot more money.
That timing matters because you lost all the wonders.
Yep.
What's he going to do with it? I mean, like, he might be able to get the 2nd tier, I suppose, but we're already looking at that. And as you pointed out, the 2nd tier outside of Jebel is a lot less exciting, and Jebel is no good unless you have your religion spread. So
yeah. Well, we've been talking about timing being a big issue with this game, and so similarly, he seems like he's just a bit behind, but maybe he'll get. He just rushed the rancher.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't believe that he'd actually be able to get to Judaism, and maybe now he believes. So we'll see.
Yeah, Gold Rush. He does have a judge in that capital. So
yeah.
So
which means he could rush next. It'd be interesting to see if he rushes next turn.
Well, he can't. He doesn't have the pop. Does he grow?
Oh,
he does grow. He is growing next turn. That's why probably the timing is as it is. So I bet you he will. Although it's gonna hurt because that means he doesn't get to rush his elder shopkeeper. He has to wait till pop grows again. Oh, painful.
Yeah. I mean, worth it if you can actually pull Judaism. So yeah,
Yes. Yep. Especially with the added benefit on top of the ambition to go with it.
I mean,
These pings.
I feel like this is a mistake on Ninja's part to allow him to get Judaism. I don't know how. Um, yeah, otherwise Ninja's game has been really going really well, so there's not a need to be super critical. But it does feel like he could have taken care of that pretty easily.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
and he immediately hurried the rancher as soon as the turn started. So he knows what's up. Good move on Alcras's part for sure.
Yeah. And growth in the capital is always valuable. So, I mean, he I would love to see his elder shopkeeper be one of the ones he rushed, but I guess that will have to wait until he gets the religion secured. Makes sense. I should probably have a look at their techs. Maybe an improvement count would be useful too right now. Let's take a quick look. So if we look at science as a whole, fell off the map for alcaras when he lost his schemer. So he is now about, surprisingly not that far. The graph makes it look worse than it is. It's about 100 total accumulated science behind, but making 20 less a turn, which is a lot more scary.
Yeah, that's a big drop off. I didn't realize you. Was he getting that just that much from the leader?
Yeah.
Oh.
34 to 31.
I'd say another thing I like that's been going on with Alcaraz is wait, does he have writers? Why am I blanking on this? He does.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I kind of feel like one of the reasons Ninja maybe went for writers is because connecting to the capital is like kind of a disaster in this game.
Yep.
Like the capitals are so far inland; they're not near any river. I mean, it's like a full 7 or 8 tiles to build a road to a river that, you know, and even then the other cities don't necessarily automatically going to be connected. A lot of in fact, all 3 of Ninja's family seats are not on a river and are not connected naturally to the water at all.
Yeah.
Whereas Alcaraz has gone and done the hard work of actually building a road that's going to get to his capital pretty soon.
I mean, I don't disagree that it's good to see the investment in that, but I think I take a little bit of umbrage at the hard work with the trader workers. You know, like trader workers make that so much more gentle than having to spend like 10 turns with one worker from a different family.
Well, at least he's getting something out of the traders. But,
yeah. And weirdly, like he's got like extra ones too. Like some of them are just like convenience roads. Have you seen the road between Nora and Carthago? Like just east across the hills. Like it doesn't actually connect anything. He's connected up north. So
yeah, I don't know what's going on there. It seems like he
convenience
could have
movement.
Yeah. I mean, roads usually pay off pretty well eventually.
Yeah.
I assume is he not exploration? Oh, he hasn't
Alcaraz?
even picked
I
up
don't think so.
either of them. Alcaraz, yeah.
So we're on 3 laws finished and 2 available for Ninja, sitting, I assume, waiting for those pyramids to finish. She has either freedom or slavery available, and then colonies or serfdom. And I think Alcaraz, last time we checked, was at serfdom, but I don't know if he's got serfdom equipped and freedom and centralization out. So, yeah. I mean, the other problem with early roading, as good as it is for like the growth, is every one of those hill roads is 20 stone. And he's gotten beaten to all 3 of his early wonders, so the cost of the roading is not free. I mean, if I count his road tiles, how much has he spent there? It's probably a couple hundred stone.
I didn't notice them recently. He may have put the ball down. I hadn't noticed them until recently, so he may have put the ball down once he realized he missed out on those early wonders because his stone production is good. So he must have had a bunch lying around.
Yeah, again, I think so much of this city count problem for Alcaraz right now is based on the fact that he didn't have husbandry to start in a triple husbandry capital. So he just hasn't had the literally food per turn to do the things he needs to do, even if he's had okay growth per turn.
I mean, I would kind of like to think that, if Alcaraz loses this game, that one of the issues was forcing Carthage.
Yeah, it would be nice to finally see Carthage get to a point where it might be a situational civ as opposed to an every spot civ. Yeah, I'd like that too.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily that Carthage was bad. It's just that the other sites. It seems like this site. There's a few other civs nations that would have been a much better match for it.
Yes.
Which is what that's the high level goal for old world design, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Is that everything is good in the situation, but forcing it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be any good in that spot. That'd be lovely. Or at least isn't as good as it could have been if you did something a little bit more matched.
Yeah.
Well, late workers to the southern city. Too bad. The one with double horses there. Could have used those borders, I assume, but it's getting going. We are seeing some more cities come down from Alcaraz. He's at 6 now to Persia's
Oh,
8.
how did I miss this?
What's this?
There's a bireme coming out of Raga. Did I miss the navigation build off of?
Yeah, I was just saying
Ninjaa?
he has both. He has both colonies or remember he's got those 2 floating laws that he hasn't assigned. He's waiting on pyramids, so he had
Yeah.
that tech right after I think he went what is it, sovereignty, and then he went immediately into navigation right after sovereignty.
Okay.
So it's been
Alright,
fairly recent,
great.
but yep.
Yeah. Good. Interesting to see that he's committing to it right away. I think that'll help him expand faster. I mean, with his with his city lead, he could plausibly get one of these 2 spurs a lot faster, and actually end up. This is the type of map we haven't seen this too much in the tournament, but there is sort of a sense of like you can only expand so far and onto the other side of a map when it's ultra wide. But that's not necessarily true for a map like this, where as long as you have a good coastal connection, like some of these city sites that are way down the coast are functionally speaking quite close to the rest of your territory. Um, so be interesting to see if he decides to just push really hard. But of course now he is now clearing the honey site, so he's not doing the thing that I was sort of talking through.
Yeah. I think I mean, he might end up still doing that, and certainly the boat's going to let him do that, get around this very rough terrain of these mountains. So we might see him grab at least the central site, and if Alcaraz still is nowhere to be seen when he grabs the central site, he may continue going east. I mean, the next Vandal site is very close, so I could definitely see him having a couple further along that southern area.
Yep.
And actually, the mountains make this kind of interesting because that means there's no real symmetrical expansion available in the north like that. Like you can't, if your opponent wraps south, wrap north. So it might end up being that's where all the conflict is in the south until you can get enough boats that you can go somewhere else north. And if he's
Yeah.
like 2 cities further east on that map, well, that's gonna be real strong for him.
Yeah.
Yep. Bunch of civics for Ninjaa. He did finish the pyramids this turn. He has 2 unassigned laws, and he has not yet hit his established a state religion ambition. So I'd expect to see both the laws get assigned. There goes slavery over freedom.
I mean, great time for it.
I don't know. Would you take slavery here? He does have gardens coming out. He's got plenty of growth. But do you care about the small amounts of stone and iron at the moment? I'm not sure I care.
Yeah. I mean, he's already got hanging gardens, so maybe that's why he's going for slavery.
Sure.
But it does seem like it's not necessarily a huge deal.
And he hasn't spread his religion yet either, which I assume he's going to want to do. It'd kind of be nice to have some more growth possible for that. He's taking colonies as well. I think that's
which I love.
smart.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
You could do some really interesting stuff here. I mean, presumably, he already bought. Great, yeah, he already bought the tile, so we can get to that Sardinia, get to the island even without the bireme.
Yeah.
That's what I expect to see. That's probably what he wanted to do with his military. He just was a few turns off.
Yep.
And so he probably just went. It's like, well, I guess I might as well clear that honey site while I can. But yeah, I expect to see him go to Sardinia next.
Yes, me too. And I suppose
with the bireme, he could even just skip that other city site and just go straight to the one that's more on the open plain. I mean, I don't necessarily know if there's any reason to do it that way, but just having the bireme just creates some interesting possibilities.
Yeah, definitely does. Yeah, I suppose with the triple game hunter site, that's going to have a ton of local growth, and then the German aqueduct other site, which is going to have 5 farm specialists. He probably has some good growth cities, so maybe slavery. Maybe there's just not a lot more value to be gotten out of freedom.
Yep. All right, Judaism's on the map now. So the question is he going to care about metaphysics? Metaphysics is in his draw pile. So after he finishes drama, which maybe is, I assume, probably the fastest tech he could get. Yeah, right now. Be interested to see if he goes for metaphysics next. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't care. I mean, he's not clerics. You know, we talk about religion so much, but at the end of the day, if there's no clerics, you don't necessarily need tons and tons of religions.
True. Can also be a problem sometimes to have multiple, so you have to deal with keeping them all happy.
Yeah, it's taken me a while to kind of see the point of view of like getting a cleric and spamming out the religions because I've always been just very concerned about family opinion. In fact, it's taken me a while to get on board with even just building shrines. I really like to get all my families together on one religion and then just pour all my opinion boosts into that thing.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
but I think that's more my issue. That's not necessarily the right way to play. Um,
God, that is
Because I
a
always assume that there's plenty of other good buildings you can build. You don't necessarily have to be building shrines or multiple religious buildings, um, but they're pretty good.
yeah, they can be. They can be. Yeah, that is interesting take. I had never thought about that. I had a game where I give shrines as I think a hottie, and ended up with the religion
Mm,
and like shrines super late in the game, and I hated it. I was like, "Where are my
mm.
acolytes? I'm missing my science all game." So,
Yeah.
yeah. We may
Yeah.
see this scout get revealed. 2 turns for him to move it. Doesn't really have a good home, having lost the schemer for alcaras. The stats on Ninja's leader are quite strong at this point. 8221 schemer, and he's only
Hmm.
55. He feels like he's got plenty of life left in him. So,
Yeah. Just see what happens. He only has two heirs, one of which hates him.
yeah.
So he's getting upkiss from the succession, but like literally he's getting nothing from his succession. Oh man,
Yeah.
zero yields from his entire succession. That's his one Achilles heel. I mean, everything else is going pretty swimmingly.
Yeah, another
Uh,
nice ambition for him. He did complete the Zorro as a state religion ambition, it looks like, which is great for him. He did dump those civics into the laws, plus that is probably 800. I don't know where the last 200 went. I maybe should have looked for a rush, but I didn't see it. He is up 5 assigned laws now, which is pretty good. Did he start another wonder? No. Okay. Yeah, a lot going on over
we
here.
talk about, I mean, talk about law count, but I don't necessarily see that like either one of them is going to be pushing to get a unique unit out pretty soon anyway. So, um,
Yeah, I suppose
I
if
mean, I love that Ninja is still just sitting on 3 military units. I mean, that's just one of the best parts of his play. He's really managed that super well. They've always been like slightly damaged, but not enough that he can't keep can't keep attacking with them. Um,
yeah. Yeah,
so
he's
really
done an
really well
excellent
done.
job of utilizing those 3 units to just clear this whole map. And one of them he didn't even create, right? So if we talk about Carthage, normally he'd be able to go full econ. Well, Ninja's done the same
Mhm.
thing. He's
Yeah,
only trained
exactly.
1 unit here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very greedy situation, map, right? And ninjas understood that from the very beginning.
Yeah.
It's like that's fine. Yeah, I don't need mercenaries or any other path. I'll just build 3 units and buff them up, and I'll be fine.
Yep.
What's the tribal on this? This is it normal?
Yeah, I
Tribe
believe it
level
is.
normal.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're starting to get some raiders now, coming in towards uh, ninja. Who won't really have anything. To,
Yep. One downside of not having a
actually,
wide army.
yeah, you see him actually moving the militia on the way over there, I guess, to help out with that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, he did finally
so
settle the site. It was a 1-turn counter beneath the blocked camp. So this is the first time the militia's been able to move is once Yaz is actually settled. Interesting. Drama is an interesting pick here too. Is that a science play in there? I mean, perhaps he's just starting to think, he's already
it's
at
just
5 laws and he actually needs the culture off drama too, because he really is going to want
it
some
was the
sites.
it was the cheapest tech.
Was it?
I think that's what he was doing.
Okay. I actually think some Odians would be really good for him. He's got the stone income to support it just fine. He needs to get his cities
Sure.
that are going to be building his unique units, culture levels, because he's at 5 of 7 laws and he's going to hit 7 laws long before he hits strong culture in those cities right now.
Yeah, I mean it's good for sure. I mean he's if anything he only has one developing city right now. Um, so I mean, that's not great.
Yeah, though he has 3 cities, 2 cities now, I suppose, ahead of Alcaris. So he's probably
Yeah.
not complaining too much about his city situation, if I had to guess. It's always good to
Nope.
look over and your opponent's way behind you.
Yep. Yep. That's impending doom. It always feels like.
Yep, it feels
Um,
real bad, especially in all the dimensions. It's not like I have a couple wonders I can utilize these. It's not like I have
yeah.
science. I don't have orders. It's Persia. Alcaris has got to be
Yeah.
threatened a bit for sure. Is that another world religion found? Oh, I don't know. I don't know this courtier. Joseph the Proud here. He looks like a religious one.
Did we get a no? Still just 2 religions down.
Oh, yeah. Some raiders coming in against alcaras. He is upgrading his standing army there. Up the tiers in the
I
tribal.
mean, he's gonna have a better distribution of troops. Obviously the ninja. So
yeah, he's got a lot more.
This part of the game, he'll be in better shape.
Yeah. Another way of thinking about that is he's got a much higher food upkeep, which has helped him all game thus far. So that's worked out well. But yes, he should at least fight off the tribals a bit better here. All right, is it still going to be just straight machinery? Machinery versus 2-turn military drill is what I think Ninja's thinking about right now. Or possibly metaphysics, is that would...
Right. Oh, machinery.
Yeah.
All right. So I think he went for drama, just he wants to get to machinery as quickly as possible. I mean, so this is another one of these things where it's kind of like, is he forcing something? Like, I mean, ballistas are literally just been nerfed. There's obviously a lot of great stuff on this, but I still don't see... I mean, combat is just... We're still 20, 30 turns away from any combat.
Yeah, they've been nerfed, but they're still a plus 100% versus infantry, and if your opponent doesn't have anything but infantry...
Yeah, but when is it going to be... Is he even going to start building them soon? Like, why would he even build them right now?
I think he's teching them for the science and the goods boosts out of windmills. Whether or not he goes hard into ballistas and pushes with that, I don't know yet. I think it's really going to depend on how far he can get his water movement.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he definitely is going to get some mills down, but I guess we'll see. He should be in position for a new wonder soon. Let's see what he does.
Yeah, what are you going next?
I mean, I guess
I
guess Jebel Barca.
Well, does he spread the religion at all yet? So I see Zoro's in 2 cities right now. Is that it? And that's just probably a natural spread if I had to guess. So it's really hard to invest in Jebel quite yet. I mean, I suppose if he
soon
can...
by the time.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's definitely way too early to build Jebel.
Well, I mean, he's got some good growth cities. It is possible he's just thinking, like, I'll finish my 3rd game here, and then that city just only produces disciples till Jebel finishes. It's a long build. But I agree. It does
he's 28 turns. He's 28 turns away from strong in Parsa. So, I don't know.
Yep, me neither.
I mean, maybe just go for Apadana and trust that it's actually pays off. I mean, it is actually going to pay off. It just doesn't feel awesome.
Yeah, so. I've been considering, like, I did a multiplayer mod recently that I've been playing around with, and one of the things I'm considering doing is changing the display on Apadana to display the empire-wide bonus as opposed to the local. Because you look at it and you're like, 30 gold? That's nothing. And even when that that it does apply to all your cities, it shows the local yield on it. So like if you hover Alcaris's right now, where he has Apadana pinned, you see it says -24 per year because it's showing the local yield. I'm considering just changing that display, no other things on it, just the display to show what it would be for the empire, because I think it might be like it might incentivize players to pick it differently.
That's funny. I hadn't even thought about that. Would that work if we just do the bonuses differently?
Probably. I mean, presumably display. I guess I don't know that. I'd have to look into it. I haven't done it yet, and I'm not even suggesting it's a good idea. I've just been thinking personally about doing that because I always look at Apadana and I'm like, I don't know how good this is for me, and I don't want to do the math of just adding up all my individual cities.
I see what you're talking about. Yeah, that's always a tough one because it's like it kind of swap. Like some buildings work some way. We want to be consistent with what that means, so it's supposed to mean like what this improvement is doing for this city. And I guess obviously we could add a whole extra line to it.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily suggesting a change. One of the things I have been enjoying, I've been chatting with Solver about this a bunch, about having the mod, is I don't have to worry about like, okay, this isn't a good change for single player. I don't have to think about that at all. I'm just making a multiplayer mod, so it's very freeing that way.
Yeah. A pretty funny mod that would put that in the Steam Workshop where the only thing listed is
not only that, but
global yields. Yeah. Global yields for Apadana.
Yep.
It did not even change it. Just like visible global yields for Apadana.
Yep. Wow, machinery just jumped. So he must have hit a science boost of some sort, because that was 6 turns last turn. It's 3 turns this turn. So that's quite a big boost.
Yeah, and I assume he's going to roll right into hydraulics as soon as he can. His tech pile is starting to accumulate, so it might take some time. But
yeah, 300 or 250 now total science difference for Carthage versus Persia, with Persia ahead, which is kind of bizarre. I don't know if that number includes those boosts or not, like event boosts for science.
Yeah, I think they do now.
I think they do. Okay.
Don't quote me. So it looks like Ninja's doing the same thing where he conquered that honey site, founded it, bought a tile, so he can basically get his units in, capture the site, and then get them out quickly. So their exit is going to be much faster than the entrance. So this is a consistent thing we've seen. Just Ninja just timing everything super well with this game.
Yep.
Yep. Here you see they're popping in. They're even able to get back up to Raga in time to
Defend. That's nice.
Defend. Wow, that's amazing. Just because he was able to settle the city in time and buy the tile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do
Really
like
glad
the
to see
scout
they went for
following around.
colonies.
Yep. Yeah, the colonies has been really good for him for sure. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it's spread through this turn or if the site had already had it, but he has Zoro up in that city immediately too. That's a good one for him since there are literally 4 groves there to put monasteries by.
I think he'd want to connect Raga and Para pretty soon, though. Would rather have seen that than the extra purchases in Sardinia, but I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Presumably that's where his troops are headed next, to Sardinia anyway. So because once he founds the city there, he'll get all those tiles for free anyway.
Alcaras with his first wonder. Apadana coming up.
Okay.
He does
All
have
right,
both the
Apadana
ambition
believer.
for it, and it is, well, he's got an ambition for it, so possibly that too.
He's got 2 workers on it. 3 workers? How many workers do you have on that?
2 at the moment. I think you can hover and it says right there, workers on tile.
Oh yeah, 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see maybe a 3rd or 4th showing up. Certainly one of the nice things about builders is the worker stacking for wonders get those immediate effects as opposed to having to wait forever. But this is not the ideal leader, this 1 intelligence and -1 charisma builder.
No.
It's definitely...
Yeah. It's not maybe developed the way he was hoping for.
No, I don't think so.
I got to step away for just a second, okay?
Yep. All right, chat. How we doing? Any questions that I've missed? I don't think so. Anything we want to, maybe this is a good time. We'll, Soren stepped away for a second. Any demo that you want me to have a look at or anything you want me to take a little bit of a zoom in on while Soren's away that I haven't been checking recently? Tech path, unit count, anything like that? Let me know. Forestry and land consolidation. That makes sense for Alcaraz, thinking about his groves. But I do think this early game has gone pretty solidly to Ninja. I think a variety of factors have contributed to it, but the biggest factor I think that has contributed to it is I think Alcaraz forced Carthage on that start, and I do not think it was a very good Carthage trader start. And I think he's suffered for that quite a bit. Family opinion? Sure. Take a look at family opinion if you like. I thought there was an interesting comment about Ninja not normally building garrisons, and he doesn't. He has very, as I would consider, late garrisons up here, but he did spend a lot of early stone on those wonders, so I can see that him not being able to afford both and wanting to do those wonder investments on a map this large makes some sense too. And he has Persia, which is a lot more forgiving on orders than anybody else, right? So you can delay those garrisons a bit and get away with it. Family standing of Persia, medium to bad, I'd say. Riders at -64. This is probably the impact of Zoro, right? Because the Zoro head hates him. So if he spreads the religion around or adds some tenets, that will probably jump right up. Also pretty easy to get rider standing. You can just assign some generals if it gets too low, that kind of thing. I don't think he's doing a lot of like influence style missions. Disappointed. There's no influence on any of those. There's an endeared there. That's interesting. This girl is endeared to him, but only +20. Okay. So these families are not far from a lot of pain for him. Not many steps. But he doesn't have an ambassador in. I don't think it's going to be painful, but they aren't in great shape. I'll compare Alcaraz's when we switch as well. Stat recap? Sure. Let's take a look. Improvements controlled. Neck and neck. Persia is now ahead. Alcaraz was ahead before that, so 45 to 42. Did science a minute ago. I did order count a minute ago too. Order count closing up here. Surprisingly. And then science was about, we'll look again right now. Science is getting worse. It was 39 plus 63, and now like a 250 lead for Ninja. So not that bad. 250 is about 1 tech at this tier, right? About one of these techs ahead. So nothing crushing in science yet, but it is going to get worse before it gets better, right? The ninja leader is quite a bit more science per turn than Alcaraz's leader, just an older, more established, more statted out leader. And then Ninja is also teching another science tech immediately with hydraulics, and already has drama for other science drama and the for the urban specialist, right? Now,
He's got a lot of.
Go ahead.
He's got so many. He's got so many windmill alarm mill pins down the map. I mean, if, you know, he's clearly excited about taking a real big science lead. He probably doesn't, realize and see how far he already is ahead. But it's gonna be in a pretty good situation.
I was just saying he's only 250 total science ahead right now, so he's not super far ahead. That's only just one of these like third tier techs, right? So it's not too bad. But yes. Yep.
But rate rise, it's 63 to 39 right now.
Yep. It's getting worse for sure.
And I mean, the weird part is that like he could potentially take him. He only has 2 people in the succession, right? Like, if that could just get fixed, if he could adopt people right now,
he could. He could.
Got 700 civics. Is it just maybe something he's just never done and just doesn't think about it?
It's easy to forget about it. It's easy to sleep on the adoption side of things for sure. And he may not care about 2 random untutored character stats that much. They just may not be that valuable to him as a whole. It's probably a smaller percentage of his science than it was much earlier in the game, right? Where you only have 3 cities down and you have a four people pumping stats into your yields. So, don't know. We'd have to ask him. It'd be one of the post game questions again. Like, did you forget about this?
It just feels like
or deliberately pass it?
Yeah. He just sort of had this he's overlooked those 2 slots. Maybe at this point, maybe he's just like wondering why his kids haven't had kids yet. Yep. They're both also not very productive on that front. So I wonder if his daughter is one of those secretly sterile characters.
I'm not a parent myself, but I imagine that's a tricky conversation to have. you're really slacking on the kid productivity. I like that approach. I can just imagine. Where are my granddaughters? Where are my grandsons? That's what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's 27, no kids, and I mean, this could all be fixed by the Duke. I mean, at this point, maybe it's just time to invest in his second, do a mission, do some sort of marriage mission.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let's see those. Are those forgotten how marriage works?
I think the leader. I don't know if you can set up your daughter or your son like that. You can, as a leader, propose a marriage, but I don't know if you can propose a kid's marriage. I don't think so. I might be wrong.
There's some way to
That's
do
a question
that.
for Scion. Yeah, interesting. You know what I will be curious about? I think so. Both players have tagged land consolidation as something they're interested in, but the decisions that Ninja have made so far has been he's prioritizing hydraulics over land consolidation, and I think the decisions from Alcaraz are opposite. So already Ninja has sovereignty ticking away, or excuse me, constitution ticking away, generating extra science, and he's got more acolyte count just because he's bothered to build them as part of Zoro. Alcaraz has potentially the officers, which he is building, which are a decent source of science, but no constitution yet, and Alcaraz has gone groves. So I will be curious to get a kind of science count of the mills and water mills that Ninja is going to be adding compared to the groves that Alcaraz is going to be adding, to see which would have been better as a pure science tech.
Yeah. I mean, at least he has something he's aiming for to try to help fix this issue. But we'll see how it goes. He's on forestry. Okay, yeah. So will he get there pretty quickly? Yeah. I mean, he'll get there probably before Ninja. But,
definitely. Ninja doesn't even have Polis yet. Ninja's been prioritizing hydraulics. So I'm expecting Ninja to hit hydraulics before Alcaraz does, and Alcaraz hit land consolidation well before Ninja does. That's what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
But this would now kind of be a good time. So Ninja has only one of those wheat in his border, so I guess he's not going to have the triple wheat out of Yaz to pump disciples with. But he does have that Hunter City with the triple game. So if he does want to go disciples and start spreading his religion around for a potential Jebel, this is kind of not a bad time to start thinking about it. I wonder if he will bother. Don't see any of those Odeons coming down and no garrisons, so he actually is floating quite a lot of stone because it just has nothing to do with it. He's built all the tier 1 wonders already. The tier 2 wonders are not super exciting yet. Doesn't have access to the tier 3 wonders, and he has nothing else to spend stone on besides garrisons. And we are starting to see those garrisons come out, and just a couple Odeons, which is nice. His military cities are going to want that extra bit of culture.
Yeah, I would like to see him do something with the stone. Maybe he is selling set. Maybe he is waiting for Jebel, but he's got the. Doesn't that need iron also? No, just 900 stone. Yeah. But Is it how many cities have Zorro? Just three. Three. Okay.
You can hover. It actually does tell you in the if you hover the
Yeah.
Zorro, yeah. So just R,
Yeah.
just
Three
three.
cities.
Yep, yep. I think that's all
Maybe.
passive spread, and I don't think he has
Yeah.
enhanced the religion at all. No, he hasn't. So he's put no effort in that outside of picking the early acolytes up.
I mean, if he does go Jebel, of course he can pump out a couple disciples easily by the time the wonder finishes, which is good as a free temple. So
Yep.
would be worth doing.
And honestly, the passive spread has been really good for him. There's no culture events that have hit those, and he hasn't invested in any tennis, so that's just the base 5% chance there. But he's gotten 2 spreads out of that, which is real solid for that's at least 3 seed cities that can pump disciples with the state religion enabled like this. But it may honestly not be enough of a payoff. He is playing wide Persia. I don't know, man. I think even as I say that, I'm like doubting that. No, I take that back immediately. It's wide Persia. There's a lot of value in the temples.
Yeah.
It basically is an
I mean,
Odeon plus another order improvement in one.
Yeah. No, if he could get out 2, start Jebel, get out 2 disciples, spread it to 2 cities, maybe get lucky, get a 6th one. Six temples for a wonder. I think that's pretty good, especially if you have all this stone just burning a hole in your pocket. He's got 800 civics, so he's got plenty of civics.
And the other thing is he has quite good growth across his empire, right? Like, and he has hanging gardens out, so the priest could actually be valuable as military production. If he finds a city that doesn't have a lot of civics, doesn't want to invest in a lot of specialists, so doesn't want to go wide with that, you just bring one priest up, and then you get all the military, all the training, the local training out of it. So
yeah, it's kind of a limit. Especially since he's doing it for hydraulics. At this point, I'm not sure if he's even going to do with all those civics. So now it does actually kind of starting to feel like actually a pretty major oversight that he's not adopted anyone.
Dude, I hate this.
Because
is that he has. Yeah, I agree. He ought to. I think it is. If we can see one mistake, it's his. As you said, his secession essentially. We're just seeing the elder shopkeeper on Alcaras. His turn 43. The trader cap with the judge. Oh no, that's. Can't be where he wants to be.
How much is his elder shopkeeper going to give him? 76, 5 growth, 3 science, 76 money.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he could rush it too.
He perhaps he will, but
yeah, he probably should. But I mean, he could rush it for 500 money. He would get that money back essentially in those 6 turns he skips.
Yeah.
So it's like a free rush, just the discontent.
He may be waiting. The halfway point is the ideal spot for rushing right after the halfway point. Or if you're not going to build that type of improvement again, therefore the overflow isn't relevant, then that's not a bad spot for it too.
I guess it's just an unusual situation where it's actually making so much of the resource you have to spend to rush it anyway. So
yeah, no, I'm with you. How to rush it? Perhaps he got the gold recently, or he's waiting for something. I don't know, but I agree how to rush it. All right, so he is at least getting a little value out of this builder. He's got an orator after too. Is this a sister? Yeah, half sister as opposed to a kid.
What's he planning? He's running a council. He doesn't have any laws available. He's got enough civics to build a wonder. What's he doing?
Where is the council?
Oh,
in
Cartagena. He's got plenty of resources.
It could be he doesn't want to build anything in there and he's just waiting on the next citizen. Because it's 2 turns for a citizen in that city.
2 turns away. Yeah, I guess so.
But even if it's 2 turns, why don't you build a festival for 3?
Yeah.
I don't know is the answer. I'm not sure. His resources are okay. Yeah. He's missing wood. His iron's not great, I suppose, and he doesn't have a bunch of floating stone. But I think that is a weight on things.
He's getting his first Byreem out. It's always sometimes painful to see those first Byreem builds 10 turns.
Yeah.
But that's just how it goes. We're gonna. So Ninja is going to get the first Byreem out by 8 turns. Interesting. Oh, and he's got good. I like to see that. Ninja's building a second Byreem. And that's the thing. If you're going to go for Navy, you don't want to underdo it. No. You want to make sure you have enough that you just absolutely dominate the water.
Super swingy with Navy because you can because of the immobilizes and the low numbers of like the low count. Like you can if you can get just a couple boats ahead, you can sometimes just snowball that sort of across.
Yeah, it's a long way across the map though, so it may not work out quite as bad this game, but I guess we'll see.
So we finally reached Ninja's breaking point for he still has land consolidation tagged, but he has now chosen military drill over polis. Both of these reroll techs essentially to get at hydraulics, but
Mhm.
He's not one to pass a 2-turn military drill just to get a little bit closer to land consolidation, it looks like.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that seems pretty solid.
Yeah. Both of them kind of weak situations on their families. They're all floating around like the -50 to +50 range for both sides on
Yeah.
all their families. Nothing particularly happy about any of them.
I just saw Ninja Scout harvest 2 pearls. Like as he push Raga to developing. I like that. I like that move. It's just a small, tiny thing. I mean, he's going to settle that city site pretty soon, so he'll lose the chance to harvest those pearls. But presumably, get Raga to developing, so you could start rushing some boats out.
Yep. I'm a little curious about worker count. I haven't looked at that in a while. Maybe I will do that real quick. So both pretty low worker counts. I don't know, turn 43. I guess I'm not sure by turn there, but Alcaras at 13, Ninja at 9. 9 workers seems like a very low worker count to me, especially as Persia with these orders. So I wonder if the scout is intentional or if that is like an order sync. He's like doesn't want to end his turns with not having done a thing. I mean, they're not bad harvests at 10 pearls or 10 culture still. So
yeah, and anytime you contribute culture to get something to developing, like that's a the marginal value or whatever the right term for it is very high.
Yeah. Agree with that. I do, and again, I do really like seeing these Odeons. I think the likelihood of him getting to 7 laws before his cities were going to be strong culture was super high, and he is making that much more lined up with these Odeon investments. So good to see that. Be nice to see some tier 2s. Go ahead.
Check out the island.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, like Ninja. Check out the island, Sardinia. Like Ninja's timing is just so good here. Like he just cleared the city site. He's gonna clear off in the next turn. He's gonna clear off that last skirmisher. He's gonna found a city there. His Byreme is gonna be out in 2 turns, and so he's gonna be able to like jump all of those units right to that next Thracian site. It's just across the water.
Yep.
Right. I mean, think how good that is compared to if he didn't have that Byreme available. Right, having to march you guys all the way around or whatever. Like I feel like there is you could kind of track the path of these 3 units throughout his whole territory, and he's really picked a very optimal path.
Yep. Yeah, it's well done. Nice and efficient. And efficiency matters. It's funny because it matters more in this game than pretty much any other 4X because of the order limitation, right? Which is efficiency is a double dip. It's not only your timing and when you get your citadels down and the rest of it, but it's also then the cost to do a thing is more expensive in this game compared to other games for going one way versus another. So yeah, nice to see that optimized. One more turn on the Apadana from Alcaras. We'll see if Cartena is another council or not. I'm curious too. If it's one more council, I'd expect them to be a specialist immediately afterwards. There could be other things here. We're 2 turns off drama. But I don't know why that would matter here. I'm trying to imagine if there's like, I'm trying to figure out what else it could be. But
I guess we should remember he's making 188 money this turn, so we should remember that so we can see what he's making next turn when the Apadana finishes.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I'll write that down actually.
I'm predicting it'll be over 300.
Yeah, I think so too. I find Apadana to be quite strong. It's just I'm always like kind of guessing when I put it in.
Yeah.
And I would expect Jebel to go next after that, but we'll see. We'll see. They both now have fairly strong stone count per turn, that is. Although I don't think I have to look at Ninja again in a moment, but Alcaras' stone like reserves are not very deep right now. Alcaras has closed the gap a little bit in cities 9 to compared to Ninja's 10. But I don't
I kind of feel like I don't know quite if he did any mistakes here, but it kind of feels like could have. Well, he's. I mean, it's just kind of we're in the middle clump, like sorry term for it. I'm not sure, but Ninja has 3 settlers that are about to come out soon, so he's not kind of as far behind. Not behind. It felt like he should be able to maintain his advantage, but he'll have. Whereas I don't see any settlers coming. Oh, there's 1 settler that's already built now for Carthage.
So you think he's going to jump up a couple cities again and keep?
He's going to extend his lead again.
Yeah,
it's kind of a jerky number, right?
Yeah, they do tend to be built in bursts. Yeah, I noticed that too.
It's got 2. Alcaras has 2 councils going on.
So we did run council on the end of that. Yeah, I wonder. I do wonder what that is for. It could be his world. Does he have state religion yet? Because he is finishing up that disciple in 3 turns. If he doesn't have state religion
Yeah.
yet, that may be maybe some of it, but it wouldn't. But he's over 300, right? He's over 400 already. So
Yeah, he's got plenty of civics. So I don't quite get it. Well, he's building Jewish disciples. So maybe he's thinking he will get to Jebel.
yeah. Certainly, you got to be thinking if you're playing against Persia, you're trying to do things to mitigate their their order lead. So a wonder that gives direct orders is certainly tempting. Oh, Jebel started though. It started in Parsa for Ninja. Don't know if it was this turn.
There we go. Interesting to see if he starts building some disciples to take advantage of that. If you look, I'm not quite sure what to think about the fact that Ninja just rushed a rancher in Parsa.
Yeah, that is a bit odd, isn't it? Civics
Could
rushed
have been could have been rushed, a while ago, back when Judaism was still on the board. But we'll just leave that alone.
Yeah, I wonder why. Because if he's looking for pure orders, this is less valuable than the trappers, right? So this is a growth thing,
I guess, yeah.
Because what else?
I mean,
he's a growth and
maybe it's just other stuff he wants to build there. I don't know, but he only has 1 citizen available, so.
Well, but if he wants to, if he spreads religion there, that's a good pump for disciples again, and that is a growth boost. But I don't quite know what that's about. I gotta look. Does he have an ambition related to that in any way? No, he doesn't.
Yeah, I feel like this is kind of the one thing that's been really awkward for Ninja is that the Zoroastrian is still not in his capital, right? Yep. So, but his other city with Zoroastrian is building a miner. I don't know. I just would have expected to see a disciple somewhere at this point.
Yeah, I would too. It's possible he's considering rushing one of those too, but I think I would have liked to have seen the disciple get rushed ahead of the rancher. I don't know. I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense of that is growth, because he's not struggling on food, and he doesn't have a religion out of that, and it's not the most efficient orders, and it's not science, so it has to be the growth. There's nothing else that works from that, right? So
yeah. I guess the one thing is that his three Zoroastrian cities are all weak. None of them are developing, so he's never had an option to rush the disciple.
Yeah.
So he's had to hard build it. But you think
where did he hard build it?
Oh no, I say he has to.
Yes.
And he's currently building a miner in Comus. I think that would have been a good place to build a Zoroastrian, because that one sells good. That is pretty good growth. He could do it in 5 turns.
He might be planning. It's 4 turns till developing culture in Bactra. It might just be an immediate disciple rush in Bactra once that hits developing.
Yeah,
because I think that's probably
the one awesome thing about that site. You get kind of lucky that Zoro ended up down there, but with all those honeys and even the dyes and the pearls, man, 6. A free what is that? A free 6 culture return, and then Zoroastrianism went there also. Like developing city kind of fell in his lap.
I doubt he's gonna have the money. He's bought 1 million tiles with his colonies, but those sister cities, Bactra and Zadra. They're the same family, so you could tile swap and get double monasteries, double Zoro monasteries in there by just buying like 5 tiles in a row from in between along the river along the coast to plant another monastery there. Yeah. But yes, it does look like with Jebel started, and we're gonna start seeing some investment in that religion. All right. So Alcaras is giving up.
Alcaras is.
Go on.
Go ahead. I am noticing Alcaras is building barracks and garrisons, whereas Ninja has not at all. And I mean, I get that it's not as much of a long-term play, so I get why Ninja's not doing that. So it'll just be interesting to see if this sort of does pay off in the long term. I mean, I love the barracks in the city where he needs to produce boats, because he really needs to get some boats out for sure.
Yep. We did see Apadana be finished. His income went up to 413. This is also, however, the same time the finishing of the Elder Shopkeeper, who's making 109. Well, maybe not him himself. I suppose he's probably not making 109. But maybe he's making some version of that. I'm not actually sure how much Apadana. Would have been nice to have those not be the same turn.
Oh, they didn't happen at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, at any rate, he's making 400, which is a lot. So
that'll help.
It's funny.
it's funny because even that money number, like money's value is relative to the buy cost of all the goods, right? So like the
Yeah.
value of
Yeah,
money
even
is
that is what does it actually mean? Yeah. What
yeah,
is money?
yeah.
Um,
6 for everything right now, or almost 7 for food, 7 for stone, 6 for iron, and 5 for wood.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the shopkeeper looks like functionally it was producing. Well, I guess he could replace. No, it was a new one, so it was giving about 70. So,
Okay.
so he probably would have jumped to about 350 with Abadana.
Yeah.
But now he's starting to see the type of money you'd like to see from Carthage.
Yeah.
Turn 45.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I do like that you can't just throw a trader city down anywhere and be getting 1,000
yeah.
gold per turn on turn 20. You know, like it's
Yes.
nice to see that slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
So, Aaron is saying money's also good for rushing with judges, of course. And then someone else in chat, and purchasing perfume in events. Wouldn't have been in
Oh,
my
man.
top 20 uses of money, I don't think. So I just like that one. That one got tagged there.
Oh.
Perfect.
Oh.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was say like Ninja put down city on the island and immediately started building a bioream. So he's clearly
Pushing
not
that
going
navy.
to skimp on the navy side of the game. So which is great.
Yeah, bioreams are excellent for controlling tribal raids when you have island and coastal cities, and of course, the mass of them is what's going to decide your naval engagement.
Mm-hmm.
So I like it.
I assume he's going to anchor his bioream this turn, so he could be working on that Thracian site next turn.
You can tell where our ninja's priorities are too. Like looking across, like it's an Odeon in like 3/4 of his cities, but not a garrison.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where his mentality is right now, which is interesting because he's also pushing the bireams, and we're starting to see a little bit more troop buildup, right? Slinger, warrior in the back.
Yep.
So he's thinking militarily, but not building garrisons.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think maybe he's just afraid of falling behind, or he just, like we're turn 45, and at some point it's like, don't I need some more troops? Probably. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, he could. I mean, I've never seen. Again, I haven't seen many Ninjas games. They've all been in the tournament, and none of those games that I'm aware of have gone to points. But I mean, he did have a very strong wonder start with 4 wonders.
Mm-hmm.
So getting like Odeon spread around his cities is going to make that kind of passive point game pretty strong too for him.
Yeah, I'm not very good at building Odeons. I always seem to like want to do something else, and I think that's a weakness in my own play. It's kind of hard for me to kind of like categorize or explain like what's the benefit of the Odeons. Because obviously you need to get, because I often kind of think of it in terms like I just take out my city developing and then I kind of don't care.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably an oversight.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the culture events have some value, and certainly for UU production. But I agree, sometimes it's easy to overlook that. There's also quite a lot of science, and again, on urban specialists. What were you wowing at?
Oh, he's still doing the thing where he just harvested the pearls to, like, he's not slacking on that part of the game to basically make sure that try to get the cities developing as soon as he can.
But I do think this is maybe, if we're looking for flaws in this very, very nice opening from his, if we identified the one being his kind of family depth, I think one of the other ones is probably his worker count. Because if he has orders without garrisons to be making multiple scout harvests per turn while buying and the rest of it, he probably needs a couple more workers. It's probably just really where he could be at.
Yeah. Oh, and he's got a new leader. I don't know if you mentioned that, but that just happened.
The judge is up. So the schemer finally died.
And at least his other kid, now brother, had a kid, so that one's not sterile, I guess. So hopefully it can be a little more prolific.
Oh, and he picked up. Him being ninja here is teching metaphysics, so we will see. As soon as alcaras spreads Judaism once, right? We'll see Christianity go to ninja.
Yeah, there's only twice. It's now 3 global Jewish cities.
Oh, okay. Then
there's still only 1 Jewish city. So, but he's building a Jewish disciple, so he's going to be kind of doing that work for him, I guess.
Yep. Now, I don't know yet. For like, I think from Alcaraz's point of view, he's fine with a religion. He probably just didn't want to be shut out of any with 8 groves on the map.
Yes.
So I'm not sure
He
that
is,
that
he is
naturalism-
researching rhetoric, so he may be thinking about going towards metaphysics next. Although obviously land consolidation is now available as well.
Yeah, Alcaras
I guess
has
I suppose.
makes it a bit
Go ahead.
difficult to figure out what he's doing because he has like every tech pinged here. So he wants hydraulics, monasticism, sovereignty, land consolidation, and citizenship.
Yeah,
So, yes.
I would guess he would go for land consolidation next, and then hope that maybe he could pull metaphysics. Because obviously monasticism is, you kind of want the religions before that's super useful anyway.
I mean, he's one tech away from. I think we're likely to see him prioritize land consolidation if he gets the offer for sure. But he is only
yeah.
one tech away from citizenship. So monasticism now is an order per city with polytheism, right? And then after you've invested in that, you swap it back for then another order per city off of monotheism. So I think it still has value now, right? Because he's so close on divine rule.
Does he need orders that badly right now that it's worth swapping laws?
I don't know.
I think I don't know. I would think he'd be tempted to try to actually grab Christianity.
Alcaras?
Alcaras, yeah.
Oh, I don't think he's gonna pay any attention to that. What do you think the payoff of Christianity is right now? Just the second round of.
Well, he's targeted monasticism, and the more religions you have, the more monasteries you can build. And there's certainly plenty of grove texts lying around. Because we know he's going for land consolidation, right? So if you do that, you might as well try to lean into the monasteries.
Yeah, I certainly do think that the value of a monastery goes way up with groves, and if you're going to go land consolidation for sure. But I don't know that. I think the value of the monasteries as science is quite a bit less than just than just getting to ballistics essentially, right? 'Cause then you get 2 per culture level of your city as opposed to just 2 from the monastery. Now with the groves, you're right, the multiplier.
Ninjaa is going to metaphysics, but of course it's the issue that probably both of them will have it before we get to the third Jewish city anyway.
Yes.
I think he's doing metaphysics because it's cheaper than coinage or monasticism.
So yes, I think you're right too. He's not necessarily thinking about Christianity as he picks up this tech. So I was wondering where he was going to rush this disciple, and he didn't. He just got an event disciple instead. So there's a neutral Zoro disciple from somewhere.
Lucky for him, while building Jebel Barkal. Wow, that's nice. Quite nice.
Well, but interestingly, instead of spreading the religion to immediately start building that, I know this is weird, right? Because in his capital he rushed the sheep. Well, you know what? It might have been.
No, What? Go ahead.
It might be the adjacency to the wine for the double. Is that possibly why he upgraded that sheep for the border expansion? For the double monasteries?
Well, he definitely wanted the border expansion, but it does seem like that's thinking pretty far ahead.
Yeah, especially with Jebel grabbing the tile anyways. I'm not sure.
Yes. Yeah. But he's building the holy site because he can still spread Zoroastrianism before Jebel Barkal finishes.
It's another rancher. This one rushed at least. Oh, this is being gold rushed though. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Sure.
Yep, I think we will see that. I think we'll see another disciple somewhere. The religion gets spread to the cap, and then the cap, which is now quite a lot of local.
He's got to spread the religion to the cap. I mean, like not getting a temple there would be pretty tragic. So.
All right.
It's got control 4 granaries ambition. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily seem like it matches necessarily with all these watermills and windmills.
Well, drop some granaries near the Joran Aqueduct and be pretty happy.
Is there space?
Southern one, because as soon as you plant a farm, it instantly specializes, which means it instantly buys a tile next to it and drop a granary.
Oh yeah, that's true. There's 2 obvious. Yeah, like one just touches one farm. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta take the ambition, knowing that you can finish it.
Sooner or later.
Yep.
And I mean, he is slowly expanding Yaz's borders south. There might eventually be some nice wheat spots with the double granary there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree.
I'm surprised the price of wood is not higher, considering that, as far as I can tell, neither of them are. Are there any lumber mills online now for Alcaras?
I don't think either of them have been having anything to spend it on, though, right? So Alcaras is starting to get lumber mills, but no one else. Yeah.
I mean, the boats, but they're starting to build
True.
biremes, and there'll be a lot more of them coming online. So
Yep.
um,
Should start
it'd be a
spiking.
good time to just buy some wood. Actually, if you had the mind space to think about that. Sell.
Ninja was only at 100
Wow.
gold though, and he was like minus like 80 or something per turn with that judge. I think I saw, and he did
Mhm.
judge rush that turn, so he's probably feeling
Yeah,
gold pinched a little bit. Although Alcaris
I'm
is
thinking. I'm thinking more alcaras. Alcaras is sitting on 900 wood. Sorry, 900 food. Plenty of money. So it's time to throw your money around somewhere.
Yep.
Um,
Rhetoric will be Alcaris's fourth law. He does have quite a large extended family at the moment. And are any of these kids likely to be exploring? He's got 2 courtiers, a lot of money. I'm not sure how many of these he'll be bothering to send exploring, but he does have the access to do that if he wants to next turn. Barracks going up in his military cities. He still doesn't have a mine on his ore, which makes me a little bit sad. But I suppose it's not super relevant if you're not using iron for anything and you're not yet producing units. And city count is 11 to 9.
just a question about strong culture first. I see the Carthago is 6 turns away from strong.
That's a
I
question.
assume that's
Museum's on the board too, right?
yeah. Parsa is quite a ways away, 20 turns. That's pretty interesting considering the wonders I got down. I
Well,
guess there's
none
only
were, only one was
2
built in
wonders.
Parsa, and then he never
Only one was in
upgraded that
Parsa.
salt. So like he's only getting half the culture value
Huh.
out of the salt.
Yeah. Yeah, his culture is pretty weak. He doesn't even started a Odeon there.
No, he is not.
He's more concerned about the cities that are not developing. So yeah, he's looks like he maybe is missing the boat a little bit on the race to strong, because Alcris is going to beat him there for a while. Beat him there easily. And he's got plenty of civics, so if he can hold on to stone for a while, he could probably put down the museum. And what else would I want? I mean, the Colossus, I guess. Well, not the Colossus. Obviously, it's not in the water. But is Acropolis worth it? Yeah, maybe.
Acropolis is, I think,
Yeah.
probably the worst wonder out there. So I don't think we're going to see them pick that up till much, much later. Maybe. It depends if there's already some Infor investment for some reason, like potentially because of I don't think anyone has the engineering law, but yeah. Anyway, so looking at
We'll definitely see.
Go ahead.
I would say we'll definitely see the museum. I think.
Yes.
In 6 turns.
So too.
So, okay, go ahead.
About 200 science difference for the two of them in Persia's favor, although the science rate has now, with the schemer dying, has fallen right off. So they're basically even on science rate. Alcaris with quite a few more workers, but less improvements than Ninja. Ninja is still with a really low worker count, in my opinion, with 10 workers right now. It's basically 1 per city at the moment. But he is using them every turn as opposed, and 1 per city while building 3 or 4 wonders is really quite it's not really 1 per city, right? Because you got one guy who's like stunlocked for 10
Yeah.
turns building that wonder. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I would love to. It's funny to speak as like a lead designer talking about these things, but I would love to see a thing next to the worker count where it tells you the percentage of turns that they've actually been used.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Right? That's the number you actually want, right? Like how many turns has the worker done something, not necessarily how many workers you have.
Yeah, and while we're putting like pie in the sky wish lists of things that probably never realistically go in there, I want to know how many times that worker won me the game too. Like just at the end, like he's just got like a little flag. It's like this guy's improvements won me the game. That'd be nice. Yeah. I do sometimes as I say a thing, not that particular comment, but like when I'm talking the Apadama thing, I'm like, I don't even know if I want to share that because I'm talking to the lead dev of the game. It's like,
yeah.
So we will see choice of land consolidation versus citizenship. Citizenship's quite a powerful tech. Not only is the religion law the good one, but courthouses are really nice for local production of civics.
I mean, if they were in the middle of combat, the composite bow would be interesting too. Got a pretty interesting set of choices here. But it seems like he was always probably going to be going for land consolidation. Although, man, he's got so much civics. I guess he doesn't really need legal code quite as much as you would in some other games.
Yeah, I'm almost. I'll be curious about this. I've had maybe 1 game in my last 20 where I bothered with legal code, and the other 19 I chose a divine law. So I'll be curious to see which games. This might be one of those maps where the legal code is worth it, right? Where it's a far enough away that the orders aren't immediately necessary to just fight. We'll see.
I love legal code. think it's such a strong law, and so yeah, I guess I don't know. It's maybe that's why I haven't been paying attention to
Where
the
do you
pagan.
spend your civics?
Oh geez, I mean, it seems like there's always something to spend civics on. At I mean, worst case, you're just rushing stuff.
Do you tend to civics rush a lot, like in your games?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I try to avoid that when I can. Like it's always like a last resort thing for me for civics rushing. Maybe with like some exceptions. Like I think the elder shopkeeper in a fair is something I very often civics rush because if you don't have access to a judge, you want that elder specialist immediately if you can.
Yeah.
But
we play these large 4v4 team games, and like there's going to be times when you can't possibly get units produced fast enough.
Yep.
So you got the civics rush, and you need civics for other stuff too. So you super need the code. I mean, it's just it's always hard to kind of discuss any of these things because the value changes so much based off the context of the games.
100%. Yeah, we still haven't seen any religion spread from Ninja here, right? How long do we have on this Jebel? 9 turns. I mean, he started.
Yeah, but he's doing the 8 turn Eder versus whatever.
Yeah.
So I think I assume as long as he doesn't forget, he's gonna presumably spread to the capital before he finishes the wonder. But
sure,
we'll see.
I mean that only gives him 3 turns to build disciples out of that capital. I mean, perhaps he's done what you've done, which is you're like, if I get 6 out of it, that's happy enough for me. I tend to. I mean,
I would like to see him.
If I build it.
Well, I for sure I'd like to see him build another disciple of Comus, not a horse supply. I mean, he could rush probably 2 or 3 disciples out before Jebel Barkle finishes if he really focuses.
Yeah,
but
more than that, I think. I mean, between the cities he has, but yes, just out of that one capital. Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
So interesting decision here. Did you see the hydraulics versus goods boost? The goods boost is a really hard one to pass, but he wants his ballistas and he wants them now.
I mean, he wants the mills.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We should maybe make a prediction on how many turns will be before he actually starts building ballistas, but yeah. His economy's pretty solid, right? I mean,
no, I don't think it is at this point, right? Like if we look at this, I was just looking at that, right? So he's negative gold. He is negative wood, although not much wood demand, and doesn't have lumber mills yet, so it's not a lot of negative wood. And he's like middle ground on iron, I suppose. So like he's still got good
all he
stone.
needs to do is sell 40 food each turn, and he makes up that money deficit. I mean, obviously, it'd be great to be positive money, but like the goods boost, he'll make that up in just 3 turns of regular production.
Yep, for sure.
So.
Yep, and I suppose that the cost of his science rate right now doesn't really support such an early goods boost, I suppose. So
yeah,
yeah,
I think that's the other thing. I mean, hydraulics is still 10 turns away. I mean, this is a classic beeline, and so you just got to eat it. You're gonna, when you get to that tech, you're just gonna be sitting on it for a long time.
Yeah. And that, I mean, to be fair, it is an econ tech as well. So I mean, it would be a science and econ tech for him. So it's not like it's not like going for steel at this level of like imagine like doing this type of beeline tech for like battle line, like
battle line,
the payoff is very different. So
yep.
Or the econ payoff, anyways. He is settling that northern, or at least clearing that northern city. Makes sense with the boats out and the anchors. It's certainly a less valuable. I don't know if it's actually less valuable. It does have a ton of adjacent forests and fish for growth, so you can make that a really solid, just like wood specialist.
What you want? Yeah, I mean it's a fine city, but I mean what you really want is the coastline.
Yeah,
it's time to start claiming these coastlines. So
yeah, and the problem of going north is you don't go south there. But I suppose, I mean, there's no reason he has to go south. He has the boats to jump around the mountains, so that he could make this connection north. I think in my head assuming he was going to go south for the connection.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd like to see him try it out. Just spread along the north to see how far he can get. I mean, we'll see when they connect. It feels like he could at least get that first Danish camp maybe before alcaras gets to it.
Yeah. What do you think these
he's already
are for? He's built quite a lot now, and
why he's building so many?
Yeah, 100
I would
much are good forever. Like you're always getting 1 or 2 chip damage on them for the rest of the game, and they do upgrade nicely. But why now? I guess is the question.
I think he's just trying to bank them now. Like, let's get them out now because I'll need them long term. But I would have done some workers instead, maybe.
Yeah, that seems to be where I'm at too. An onager coming out of him in that that southern city.
That's interesting.
Still no.
Yeah.
And again he has state religion, and still no disciples yet.
Yeah, that Onager is really interesting because, I mean, functionally speaking, what can you even do with that for 20 turns?
I don't know.
Maybe he'll clear the Vandal camp with the Onager.
Yeah, I love seeing players who play differently than I would, because I want to see I want to see where his mind is going with this. Like, what is his thought process on that? Is it really? I have no idea for the Onager.
I mean, it'll be great to have an Onager eventually, but yeah, I'm just really struggling to see what if this starts. This feels a bit like the the walls emotes from the last game.
Oh, yeah.
That were coming out. I mean, obviously the Onager will actually be useful, but you know, this is not the best timing play.
Yeah, and
I mean,
sometimes
heck, build another Byreme if you're going to spend that type of wood.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I mean, it's not that I mind filling a city queue, even like a not super efficient build, right? Like sometimes you're just like, I'm gonna want this sooner or later, and I don't mind building it here now, and it's gonna be slow. But it does feel like, at least from my perspective, I think he's a little light on workers. But then again, he's ahead of outbursts and improvements, and he's like half the workers.
Yeah. But he doesn't have a worker in Bactra, period. So I would for sure do a worker right now in Bactra.
Yeah, or get one over there anyways. I mean, with another Hunter City next door, you don't have to build it in Bactra, right? You just build it with the triple game Hunter City, builds another worker and sends it over.
That is true. What is that city? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you can punch out a worker in 2 turns.
Yeah. So it becomes a decision not to make a worker when you have a
pretty
city
much,
without one next door and 2 turns to build it.
Yeah. I mean, it's got 3 citizens already, so it's not like you need to save the growth.
Yeah. Speaking of, did we see why has because there's not a 3rd Jewish city yet? Because Christianity will go as soon as Alcaras spreads one more time.
Yeah, I do wonder how much use. I mean, Carthage needs the extra orders, I suppose. How much use Carthage is getting out of serfdom? I mean, 23 orders is not a lot at this point of the game. It's just like, it just feels like not having colonies is going. I mean, it's funny because colonies also saves you orders. So to some extent, you know, like it feels like it's. I would always rather start off with colonies because if you can
for
early.
Sure. But I think his timing was such that he didn't really have the coastal cities down to really benefit from colonies in that moment. So I get it. You're gonna end up paying without a judge 500 civics to double swap it like that. So it is quite expensive to have done it in that order. But I get it from where his position was when he got access to the tech.
Yeah. Oh, Palatine Cavalry is being built. Okay, that's interesting. That was because I think I said earlier I thought it was be quite a while since we see a unique unit. So this is actually a little earlier than I expected. I mean, this move along with the Onager, I don't quite understand what the plan is. I mean, those are great units. Certainly way better than what Alcaras has, but I don't know how you're gonna actually be employing them against your enemy anytime soon.
Well, I agree 100% with the Onager. I think that is early right now, and I'm not even sure it's going to see use this game because I'm not sure where he thinks he's going to be doing that with. Perhaps, I mean, you can use it for killing camps. It does work. It's just a bit awkward. The Paladin, on the other hand,
makes hilarious. The Paladin Cavalry is awesome, right? It's an awesome unit.
Yeah, and it routes. So, like, if you're fighting tribals, like, that's fine for that.
I would love to see him take the Paladin and Onager and use that to start clearing camps in the south. That would be
could do that.
I think I would have first time ever.
Yeah, it is awkward clearing camps with Onagers. You can do it. Yeah, I've seen it done. My opponents do it occasionally in my games. I rarely find myself wanting to do it, but it works. It does work. Does good damage, right?
Yeah, he's got 2 settlers in the south just sitting there, not doing anything. So he's I mean, I wouldn't. He's been so good with timing. I'm not going to criticize anything, but he does need to start clearing some stuff to take advantage of them.
Yeah, and again with good time, this Jebel, I don't want to say it's going to trigger me, like in the sense of like not optimizing this, but it feels almost free to pump out a couple disciples here, right?
Yeah, and he just rushed an officer in Comus, you know.
Yeah.
Which normally is a perfectly fine move, but he could have rushed a disciple there. Yeah, I don't know about the Slinger. I mean, I guess he doesn't have any citizens, so he can't build any specialists. Slinger and Parsa is kind of strange.
Yeah.
And he still doesn't have a road to his capital.
No, all the cities are still unconnected, right?
There's no connected cities outside of his riders.
Yeah.
That is nuts for turn 50.
Well,
and beyond that, like even just like building the Slinger, what's going to like walk long non-roads to the rest of his
Yeah.
nation.
Yeah, it does seem like it's late enough in the game that could be done. He may not have thought of it in a while. This is one of the things with network play, is if you don't think of a thing for a while, like time passes rather quickly, you know. So it could just be like not on his mental radar of that. But I agree. And no trader worker and low worker count, so it may be hard to like want to spend the turns building it. But man, you got to do it. It's not even that many tiles. It's what, 6 tiles to connect his northern ones. Yeah, and that
for
will
the
connect
most
the
part.
river, and that connects everything.
Yeah, for the most part, the rest of the cities are connected. So it's getting close to being like a major oversight at this point. What's the fastest? He needs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 roads could do it. And none of those are over hills.
Yep. Yeah, you just include the pyramids as part of the road. Yeah.
I would maybe even take the worker off of Jebel Barkle and start doing that. I mean,
that's interesting.
There's no reason not to delay Jebel Barkle, right?
Yeah, and I suppose that is the nice thing about, you know, I rarely think to do it because I often want my wonders done. But like, you're right. Nothing stops him from just taking the worker off Jebel anytime he wants and building some disciples if he wants. Decays, right?
The actual something like that. It's been a while. The actual thing he kind of needs from Jebel, strangely, is actually the culture. Like it would take him from 13 to 21 culture return.
Yeah. He can't be thinking he's gonna hit museum, right?
He's not gonna get to museum, but I mean, he needs to also plan for legendary, I guess. I mean, maybe it's just that's a lost cause. I don't know. You think he'd be building an Odeon, or this whole capital play is just strange?
Yeah.
Right? Like is this true? The only urban buildings in his capital are the first 2 shrines that he built. It's very strange, and it's not connected to his trade network.
Definitely not. I mean, I'm curious. We'll see. Like, I don't know Ninja's style as well as I know Alcaris's. And this is Alcaris's choice of a map he thinks he's better on than Ninja, right? Which is he thinks he's got a better economy game. And that certainly was not true of at least with their nation picks and their family picks in this map. I would have said Ninja's early economy game was better than Alcaris's by how that played out this game. But maybe his mid and late game economy game is not as good. I don't know. We're going to find out. And maybe one of those oversights is not paying attention to all these little details of like roads and urban buildings and that kind of crap. But then again, maybe we'll see this incredible push at hydraulics like we saw versus Nazar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
I mean, he's doing great. It's just, this is odd because he's emphasizing things that normally are like kind of meat and potatoes. I mean, he's ignoring things that are usually just very meat and potatoes.
Yeah. I heard it pointed out for this game, for this tournament, that he doesn't have enough multiplayer games played in a way that forces competitive strategies to really get a sense of what the quote-unquote meta is. So it's like you guys, it sounds like, have a pretty developed meta, having developed the game and played all the in-house stuff, right? So some things make total sense to you, and I'm thinking like you're talking about the civic stuff with like the divine rule, right? Or legal, whatever it is. I can't remember the name of the law right now.
Legal code.
And that to me is like not at all how my games have played out. So I wonder what the little pockets of like local kind of agreed upon game theory where that lies for like Ninja's thoughts on this. Like, again, it's one of these post-game interview things that you want to ask about. It's like, what were you thinking with this? Was it an oversight or was it intentional? If it was intentional, why wasn't that something you were worried about? So kind of that question.
Yeah. I mean, he's going for another Pelton Cavalry in Comus, so he's messing with you in terms of spreading Zoroastrianism. So it's definitely not going to be happening.
One boat out, 3 more boats building. Is this possible? He's just gonna go. Like, I feel like he's not even close enough. Like 4 boats doesn't connect this shit. Like he's gonna be like 8 boats, but we're just gonna see like 8 boats, 2 onagers, and like 4 Poltons, and like move across the board in like 10 turns. It's gonna be kind of nuts if that's the case.
Yeah, I'm not sure. This is like my sort of careful what I wish for. Like I always like to see players build navy on these type of maps, but at this point, I almost feel like he's over invested in it. But
we'll see.
You're just over investing in military in general, which is just strange because he ran it so perfectly early on. Like his builds right now would totally make sense if this was like a square inland sea map.
Yeah.
Right.
He'd be ready to go for fighting right now.
Yeah. Yeah, like because like it's going to happen soon, but combat is not going to happen soon. Like it's not going to happen for a long time.
Well,
So
maybe the boat
but
combat
maybe he
somewhere.
has something planned. Yeah,
I mean, if you roll up with 5 boats at this stage of the game, no one else has 5 boats at this stage of the game. Like no
yeah,
one.
I
Like
mean,
so, Alcaraz's boat is gone if that is
yeah.
that's what shows up.
I mean, I still like the boats, and the thing I like to see is like once he gets those boats down, like just going straight east, and going, wrecking stuff, making sure those merchants never get the merchants, excuse me, making sure those traders never get a double nets anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that should be easy for him to accomplish,
Yeah.
which would add insult to injury in terms of the trader start.
Well, I mean, if we look at it, I mean, we haven't talked about this yet, but if we look at the distribution of cities for Alcaraz, like we talked a lot about that for ninjas, but Alcaraz is almost entirely statesman. He only has the one trader city still. It's just his capital.
Yeah.
It's the only trader city. And if I go and look, like I'm kind of curious right now, how much is he eating in envy? He's eating 200 in envy.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So
okay. That's rough.
Anyway. But yeah, I'm curious. They said they just said in chat they're looking for another 10 minutes of play, so they're gonna end relatively shortly here. But I do love how different their 2 openings are. That's super cool.
Yeah, it's been a very I mean, it's lovely to see how different the game can play, even when they're dealing with the exact same territory.
Yeah.
It's always
and in the
fun
same
things
like
about the mirror map.
focused kind of like it's not like these are 2 different players playing 2 different types of game modes. It's not like one's a single player game and one's I don't know, a free for all.
Yeah.
Like, this is a 1v1 multiplayer and they're both playing so differently with the same map. It's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yep.
More tile buying.
Yeah, the whole
out of Hatra. Go ahead.
I love it. Love it. Oh, that's great. I mean, everything he's showing the signs of is like an early attack at this point. Like he's flipped the switch, and like I mean, the thing about this I do really like is the fact that he will, I definitely think, get to that Dane city first. And so settling on your opponent's side of the map, I think, is awesome. He doesn't seem like he's going to do any sort of real push. Maybe the onager is just to like keep the bandits from Bactra, but it doesn't look like he's going to do any push in the south. So I think this is really cool. Like he's just going to push straight along the northern spur and see how far he can go. He can control that island because he'll have those boats. I mean, heck, is it possible he could get to that city before Alcaraz? I mean, Alcaraz has biremes, but he's not really prioritized it. Yeah, the other island.
That is quite a. I mean, I guess if he takes the 2 northern cities and can bridge out an anchor out of the Danish site, sure, that's totally in range.
Yeah, and you could for sure kill any biremes and so to prevent that island from being reinforced.
Yeah,
and then he takes the onager to that island and makes life miserable for Alcaraz. I don't know, I'm thinking very far ahead now.
Yeah.
But at any rate, it would really behoove Alcaraz at this point to have colonies and like get that permanent connection to that island. I mean, of course, it's so far out of his mindset that like the idea that island's at risk, and I'm probably just imagining it anyway. I mean, that's a long stretch, but it is probably the natural. I mean, there's he's having a great military, great ships, so he's going to go fast. He's using colonies to buy up all of these shorelines, so he's going to go fast along this northern spur. So that Thracian city is going to fall quickly. That Danish city will fall quickly. The island should be next, I would think. Right?
Yeah, and Alcaraz, Alcaraz was stronger the entire game until this round of units that Ninja has built, and it will be, Alcaraz is no longer sitting on a schemer scout, and Ninja probably doesn't know where Alcaraz's scouts are, but Alcaraz's scouts are in vision range of what's going on up north here. It can be easy to be taken by surprise by something like that. Like you aren't expecting your opponent to have a city right there, and suddenly there's 2 onagers coming at you. So.
Yeah. If this surprises Alcaraz, that'll be a problem. You think they should have both decided to get a scout in the north and a scout in the south? Like that just seems like super important.
Well,
so that is a kind of
I don't know if
big oversight.
If we remember the north is not accessible by land.
Yes.
So
I was just about to bring that up. Like we talked about that some early, but we haven't talked about that for a while. But it's actually pretty important because essentially that's an island. Right.
But if you
I'm
look at
thinking
the
about
scouting, so I have it up on stream right now. Alcaraz has not seen the northern at all.
Yeah.
Like if you go from his point of view, he doesn't know what's up there, and he doesn't have schemer scouts anymore, and he hasn't invested in another scout, and his one scout's at 1 house over here, so he may not actually realize that they're. First of all, he's never seen that giant forest. So
he's got exploration, but he didn't use it to actually explore what's up in the north. I think this lack of knowledge of what's going on in the north is going to really bite him.
Yep.
Um, because since it's essentially an island, I mean, it's best just to think of it as another continent, right? It's not actually connected to his lands. Like, I'm probably actually wrong. Like, he doesn't need to go to the island. He should just go all the way, take all of those Danish sites,
Yeah.
right? Like, they're
Well,
completely
take
cut
both.
off by
Like
land.
have that like line of terrain in your
Yeah,
own tiles. Get them both.
yeah.
Interesting point.
So,
Chat point out. Sorry, just let me get this real quick. Which is museum came
yep,
down last turn.
museum.
Alcaras threw 5 workers on it, so it's going to finish in 2 turns. And the science
Okay.
difference I was just checking during when we were talking. The science difference of 300 points total right now, and a little bit in favor of Ninja still in terms of science per turn. So certainly a 50% modifier in Alcaras' largest science city is going to help quite a bit for his science gap.
Yeah.
So interesting.
It's just something to see the spread of the colonies and the boats going along the northern spur, though. I mean, this is pretty exciting. It's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think how many turns would be does he have 3 settlers out to do? I know he's got 2 in the south. Unfortunately, they're in the totally wrong location. Is he building a 3rd settler? I'm just trying to think how much of this he has already planned through.
Oh, I don't
Right.
know. We don't see him. He doesn't tag on the lands like Alcaras does. Like, so it'd be funny if he had like Ryder City like right next to the Danes. Like then we'd know what he was planning.
Right.
Like that'd be kind of cool.
Sure. I mean, it's still going to be a while, so he could start a settler in a couple turns, and it would be fine. But like he could go really quickly along this path here, and if he establishes naval dominance. Okay, so Alcaraz has anchored. Interested to see if he starts taking on the Danes pretty soon. I mean, he should. But that could be a big problem. And I'm starting to like Ninja's plan is starting to come into focus because like Carthage could start sending units over to the Danes, take that city. I mean, I could imagine a situation where Alcaraz settles the Dane sites and then loses it to
to that
Ninja,
force that's right out there.
Because he's got units coming quickly, he's got those boats, and he's got a couple of Pelton cavalry coming around, which is certainly outclassing anything that Alcaraz has.
Yep.
And like once he kills all of the boats, there's really no way to take those units will be trapped there.
Yep. And I do think one of the points that Sion made earlier was that from a pure grows, like if we look at the science of hydraulics versus land consolidation right now, like it's gonna go in Ninja's favor. He's gonna hit hydraulics here in a couple turns, and the number of mills he can put down right now is quite high relative to the number of groves on the map, right? So that science gain, at least in the short term, is going to outweigh the science gain that Alcaraz is going to get off those groves in the short term. So in other words, this slight science gap they have right now is likely to expand in Ninja's favor, despite the museum coming down for at least the short term. So that push might show up with his unit count being better right now, his city count being 3 more. He did get that little spike like you suggested again, where it swung back again. He got the wave of settlers out. So his city count's higher, his unit count's higher right now, and his science count's better. So if he can force conflict right now and can actually resupply a little bit or put some units on the board where he's going to take some cities or deny Alcaraz any movement, well, that's pretty bad news for Alcaraz right now. So yeah, it could be this timing coming together.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really clear where Alcaraz is going to expand to at this point anyway. And does he even have settlers on the map? I'm trying to see any. There's one in the south that's just been sitting there for a while. Oh man, those vandals are just kind of starting to randomly wander through his territory. Yeah, I'm super curious what's going to happen to the north, because I really do think that Alcaraz is going to walk into a potential disaster if he takes that Danish site. So we'll see. At the very least, he needs to start exploring up there. I mean, he's got the scout. Do something with it.
Yep.
I guess he needs to heal it first, but
yeah, he needs sight. Yeah. That is very much the case right now. That Alcaraz needs to get going on sight. Because if he gets blindsided by this would remind me a little bit of Sion's game with I think it was Marauder, where he had that.
Yes.
We cast part of that where that expansion came down, and it was Marauder didn't know about it for way too long, and that was a big part of his problems with being able to respond to it at all.
Yeah, that was a fascinating game to watch. And yeah, this was starting to remind me of that as well.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't, for the sake of not picking a winner, but unfortunate for the sake of the competitiveness of this particular game, I'm not sure that I see much that Alcaras is going to be able to lean on here, to offset this city and science spike in unit count. Maybe the fact that his military cap already has its officers up, already has its garrison up, can basically one law away from being able to produce elephants, and already has a decent training rate. Maybe that can help a bit here. And his roads are done too, although I don't know exactly how he reinforces to the coastline right now.
Yeah, well, look, Ninja just started 2 more biremes.
Yeah, that's
right?
a lot of naval power.
I mean, if you don't build that much naval power without actually going to go use it. So I would hope. Anyway, I mean, like it's starting to make sense what Ninja's doing, and it's gonna be really interesting to see if how it pays off.
Yeah.
I mean, Alcaraz's navy is going to get wiped, right? And he's not building any biremes right now. He just has 1. So
yeah, I don't think he loses that much in terms of like he loses that single bireme, and then like let's say he has a city site down on the Danes or both the Dane spots. Maybe he loses one of them immediately. They won't be able to reinforce. The other one maybe he can do some other connections with. That's not devastating in the short term, but I think if he gets blocked here from continuing to expand, that will be devastating because he's already behind in cities and he cannot fight that yet. And if he has to switch over to production for fighting and then also not more expansions, it's gonna be a huge problem for him.
Yeah, and he'll have to leave that northern area fortified.
Yep.
Right? Like, he'll have no chance of doing any counterattack because he won't be able to get an anchor down. But at the same time, he has to keep it fortified, so that'll prevent his ability to expand successfully in the south.
We need Alcaraz to move these scouts out of the south. He's got 2 scouts at the very bottom of the map on the south and the one on the island there. And he still doesn't have any bloody vision up north. Those have got to move.
That is nuts. That is nuts. He's got exploration. He's got 3 scouts. Like, this is a pretty big oversight.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's roads down to Parsa.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We're going to see city connections? Okay.
Is coming to pass.
Well, I suppose
However, still only 3 Zoroastrian cities, so.
Yeah, and no bothering to build disciples either. So maybe we'll see him delay Jebel, or maybe he just doesn't care. He's just like, I'm not going to bother with it. I'm just denying Alcaraz.
Yeah, I think he's probably forgotten about it. I mean, that disciple will come back up on his queue, so at least I hope he would sprint into Parsa.
All right, I think this is where we're going to call it for today. So interesting start. I think for a map this large, there's actually a fairly reasonable amount of build up to start setting up for action. This is quite an early push for a map this large to get units across. I mean, look at it. Like, it's still first tier units. Like, that army is slingers and warriors.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bunch of junk. But he's going to have pellet cavalry there soon. Yeah. So
and city upgrade these in. All these units are upgradable. So all he has to do is like get compo and like axes or something, and that's not nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. All right. I don't think we need to recap much more of the stats. Maybe I'll do just a very, very tiny brief one on the science, just to get a rate of that. We are now 360 science apart, which is about about a tech, depending on which tier we're looking at. One of the 400 tier techs is right around that cost. City count is 12 to 9 in Persia's favor. I think improvement count was neck and neck when I checked last time. Let me just double check on that, which is 76 to 75 in Alcaraz's favor. In military score, I watched that spike a minute ago. I was looking at that graph as well. Seems to be about 400 to 500, which doesn't seem like much, except the build queue is really heavily military units in Persia. So that gap is going to get bigger. And Persia has its unique unit out, which is has 5 laws and is pushing out at least 2 Poltons on the board already. Alcaraz on Carthage is still at 3 laws last I checked. So the only units he has available are his tribals, slingers, spearmen, and warriors. None of the unique unit for that. So Navy, unique units, and city count in Persia's favor with science as well. That's a bit spooky. Any closing thoughts, Soren?
I mean, I'm just, this is kind of feel like we're ending on a cliffhanger here. Like, it'll be just, I mean, it's going to still take 10 turns for all this to play out, but it's going to be really interesting to see if, Alcaraz actually does some scouting to kind of figure out what's coming, because if he doesn't, he's going to be in a world of pain, especially if I'm making a prediction. I don't know if this is likely to happen, but there's definitely this chance here of him taking that Danish camp and then losing it. And I think that would be quite sight to see.
And I think it'd be very devastating morale-wise for him too.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's the type of person who would like, especially this date in the tournament, to crash out on that. But that'd be painful. Be very painful.
And I do appreciate, as a cliffhanger goes, the cliffhanger is until tomorrow, which, considering one of Alcaras' game had literally a month in between one of the sessions and the next session, I'll take the 1 day cliffhanger. That one's not so bad.
Right. I don't know if you saw, but we were discussing playing earlier tomorrow.
I'll have a look when I finish the stream. I'll reply then.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. So just for people on stream to notice that we might be playing earlier than this.
Oh, a good point. I should call that out. Yeah. If you're interested in watching the next session of this Bcast Live, there is some chance that the timing is being changed. It might be a little bit earlier tomorrow. So just keep an eye on the community tournament channel, and we'll get that updated when we know for sure. Thanks for. I forgot that other people might care too. My bad.
Looks like it's back to saying 2:30 tomorrow, but of course that depends upon if you can actually make that.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, I'm going to end the stream here then. Everyone watching, thank you very much for being here live. It's really fun to do this tournament stuff, and it's cool to see the Mohawk people get involved with the rounds of casting this and watching this too. It's fun to have that kind of excitement in the development and hearing from the developers of that kind of excitement too. It's been a fun match thus far. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow, and we'll see you guys then.